and radios within the past hour.
FEMA wants to test to make sure this is still effective at notifying the public of a widespread disaster or a national emergency. And again, we got that notification to our phone with that loud tone and vibration. And if your cell phone was on silent, you probably still got that notification.
Fox's CB Cotton, that alert system can be used to warn the public about weather emergencies, for example, public safety threats, and Amber Alerts. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're letting him out. Sunny at 84 in downtown Indianapolis. No rain on the radar. Low of 65 later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending. At 3:02, the boy who police say is responsible for the Noblesville West Middle School shooting in 2018 has been released to his parents, but there are conditions he has to meet. John Herrick explains.
The judge said Wednesday that the boy can't have any weapons, he must not be on any school property, and his location will be monitored by GPS, just to name a few. Police believe he shot a teacher and a classmate at the middle school back in 2018 and committed battery against a case manager at a juvenile facility back in April of this year. He's due back in court in December for a review hearing. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Former Governor and Vice President Mike Pence says Kevin McCarthy being removed as Speaker of the House is concerning.
I'm deeply disappointed that a handful of Republicans would partner with all the Democrats in the House of Representatives to oust the Speaker of the House.
Pence said he expects several Republicans to vote for McCarthy again for House Speaker. All Indiana Democratic representatives in Congress voted to remove him, while Indiana's Republicans voted no. Temperatures will fall over the next 48 hours. The average high for this time of the year is usually in the upper 60s.
So we're well above normal for today. But once we have this cold front go through, we're going to see temperatures more closely to our normals or slightly below normal.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says along with those cooler temps, you can expect some rain, but not enough to do anything about Indiana's drought situation. Butler University's popular mascot, Butler Blue IV, has a torn ligament in his right hind leg. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The dog's handler, Evan Krause, spotted it through casual observation.
And I noticed that he had a limp and was favoring his right leg a bit. Assumed it was just asleep from sleeping in a weird position, but I kept an eye on it.
During a pre-surgery x-ray, Blue was diagnosed with bronchitis. Once he recovers from that, he'll have surgery to repair his hind leg. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but you hate the paint? Well, do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic in the fives at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison, westbound 70 already stopped from the airport ramp down to State Road 267, and that is because of road construction that could be going on for the next few days. Right lane is blocked. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go Kentucky Avenue over to the White River, and inbound 65 a little bit slow around MLK. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. So great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds will increase throughout the day today. It's going to be warm and breezy with highs near 85. Look for mostly cloudy skies tonight, mild lows falling to 64. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
But you know what? I'll make this argument at any desk in this building, from the well, from the chair. I'll make it on every street corner in this country that Washington must change. We have to break the cycle. We have to break the fever.
Florida Rep Matt Gaetz on the reasons why he led the charge to oust former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. News breaking during our show yesterday. Oh, man, it was a fun show. And I'm serious. I have fun with his crap.
I do too.
I mean, like, there's some people right now probably like shrugging their shoulders. Whatever. I'm sure they'll get another House Speaker. But the question is, who's it going to be?
Well, we've already got one name in the mix. Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio. He's officially said he's in it to win it now.
I like him.
Yesterday, I started thinking about this because so many people were saying, this is chaos. I can't believe what's going on. It's a nightmare for the Republicans.
And I was one of those people, but just because of the initial shock, of the initial reaction that I had to the real-time news that was coming in. That was my reaction.
And I wondered if the timing was right on this whole thing, right? Should this have been done before? Should they have done this later? But if Jim Jordan is the guy, and it sounds like there's a lot of people that would support Jim Jordan for being the Speaker of the House, maybe this whole it's chaos angle was all for nothing. Because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Jim Jordan would be the guy that could probably get the votes pretty quickly. Because if you remember, when they named McCarthy the Speaker, we went like round 12, round 13,
It
14.
took like 5 days of voting before they finally could come up with a deal that Matt Gaetz said Kevin McCarthy broke, and this is one of the reasons why he led the charge of vacating that seat.
Right. And there were a lot of people that wanted Jim Jordan to have that gig the last time around.
He didn't want it.
Right. But now he wants it. So maybe, just maybe, we should pump the brakes on this is chaos. They didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
Maybe the plan all along was for Jim Jordan to say, I'll be the guy. And I would be okay with that. Now, for those who don't know Jim Jordan, he is the representative from Ohio. He's the founder of the House Freedom Caucus and the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. And he's already received multiple endorsements from people like Thomas Massey of Kentucky and, yes, Matt Gaetz of Florida. So I got to be honest with you, Nigel.
Well,
if Jordan becomes the Speaker, I think he should put Matt Gaetz on his seat in the Judiciary Committee and let Matt Gaetz go full maniac on the Biden crime family, January 6th stuff, all of it. Just turn him loose.
It's interesting that he received endorsements from both Matt Gaetz and Thomas Massey, who both voted different ways yesterday in the removal of Kevin McCarthy. Jim Jordan was a Kevin McCarthy guy in terms of he liked him. He had good things to say about him. But why do we like Jim Jordan so much?
He's a flamethrower.
I like it.
He is somebody that wants accountability and things to be fair, right? Now, there's no politician that's perfect, right? There's nobody that's perfect. I'm sure somebody's listening right now has something against Jim Jordan that they don't like. But from what I've seen with the Judiciary Committee and these investigations, he seems like the kind of guy that could get things done.
Absolutely. You make a great point. If you put all your hope, all your faith, all your dreams into one person, one human being, I don't care if it's a politician or a parent or whatever, eventually you're going to get let down. And so what you're saying is there might be some imperfections with Jim Jordan. I don't know. It's crazy. They're talking about Donald Trump. They're talking about Hakeem Jeffries if they can't find anybody else. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Well, Sean Hannity was the one that was kind of stirring the pot last night. So before Representative Jordan made his announcement that he was going to pursue the speakership here, he was on with Sean Hannity last night. And Hannity said that from what he's been told, Donald Trump may be interested.
I've now heard from a number of people. I know for a fact Donald Trump has been contacted about possibly him being an interim speaker. Is that a reality?
I don't know. He'd be great, but I want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. If he wants to be speaker,
well,
great.
He would still,
but,
well, I'll be clear.
I want him to be president of the United States.
He'd still run for president. He's still going to be running for president.
Right. That's where we need him, is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. If he wants to be speaker, then that's fine too.
Now, knowing what we know this morning, that Jim Jordan wants to be the speaker, I can see why he was saying, no, we want him to be the president. We want him to be the president. But here's the thing. Donald Trump is not coming out and saying, no, I'm not interested. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. So I'm going to play you a piece of audio here. Now, the audio isn't the greatest. This was outside the courthouse in New York City today, where he's there for the civil trial, the fraud charge, and all that kind of stuff. So the audio is not the greatest. He's away from the microphone, but here he is on possibly being Speaker of the House.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party. Would you take the job? Great people. Would you take want to say we have some great people. Would you take the job? A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm focused. You know, we're leading. I don't know you. I'm sure you don't read too much in the papers, but we're leading by like 50 points for president. You know, my focus is totally on that. If I can help them during the process, I would do it.
Could you imagine the liberal heads spinning? It would be the next worst thing to, you know, after he was elected in 2016 and you saw people on their knees in the streets. No!
Who was the guy that went on MSNBC and said, people are crying tears tonight? It was the Stop the Hammering guy.
Yeah, Lawrence O'Donnell.
O'Donnell. Stop the hammering! Oh, I would love to see it just for the show, but if you're telling me that you can kick McCarthy out, replace him with Jim Jordan, and have another flamethrower on the Judiciary Committee, man, all right. Do it. That's an upgrade, in my opinion. Maybe this whole thing isn't going to be this long, drawn-out, embarrassing procedure.
Which I thought it was going to be yesterday. I said as much. I said the Republicans look like they're in disarray. Still kind of looks like they are a tad bit. It still seems like sort of a circus. But if you're telling me we could get an upgrade from Kevin McCarthy, then I'm all in.
Now, the acting speaker, Patrick McHenry, he's already doing things that McCarthy was neglecting his first 9 months on the job. And that's kicking Nancy Pelosi out of her very plush office because she was the former Speaker of the House. And McCarthy basically just allowed her to stay there. She was like the Cato Kalin of the House of Representatives, just letting her live there, hang out. You know, it's above her means at this point. But the interim speaker, the acting speaker, Patrick McHenry, put on that bow tie, walked over there and told that old bag of bones kick rocks. So I'm good with that. Now, if you missed it, Matt Gaetz has been taking heat because he's been fundraising off of all of this. And before the vote yesterday, we were on the air when this was happening, so I did not hear it live. But there were some questions during the debate before the vote about the ethics of Matt Gaetz of Florida fundraising during his attempted coup of the speakership, if you will.
And when it comes to how those raise money, I take no lecture on asking patriotic Americans to weigh in and contribute to this fight from those who would grovel and bend knee for the lobbyists and special interests who own our leadership, who have, boo all you want, who have hollowed out this town and have borrowed against the future of our future generations. I'll be happy to fund my political operation through the work of hardworking Americans, $10 and $20 and $30 at a time, and you all keep showing up at the lobbyist fundraisers and see how that goes for you.
He owns it.
He does. There's a little Reggie Miller in Matt Gaetz, and what I mean by that is he embraces the hate.
Yeah.
Like Reggie would go into the garden and he would eat it up.
It'd make him better.
Right. Matt Gaetz may be that way. And then later on, last night, he jumped on with Laura Ingraham. Now, I got the impression watching this last night that Keith Olbermann's former lover had a hard time justifying what Matt Gaetz did to Kevin McCarthy, and she also brought up the fact that Gaetz was fundraising.
Look, I think the concern here is that people are seeing your fundraisers instantly going out about this. You're raising money, and it is chaos
I'm eager
right
to
now.
address that.
And And everybody fundraises. Again, I'm not just saying. By the way, that is another criticism of what's going on.
If I can get a word in here, I am the only Republican in the entire United States Congress who takes no lobbyist money and no PAC money. So absolutely, I communicate daily, vigorously with regular Americans, because the only way I'm able to advance my political goals is if just regular folks give me $10, $20, $30. And so I will take no lecture from the likes of people who do 3 lobbyist fundraisers a day and trade favors in order to get cash from special interests on how I raise money. And I take deep offense to anyone who wants to criticize the mailman, the active duty service member, the grandmother who believes in me and goes to MacGates.com to donate. Matter of fact, I hope they do that right now. And I'm not sorry for it at all, because I won't take the lobbyist and PAC money like every other person here does.
And I never dated Keith Olbermann.
That's what he should have brought up.
That would have been the closer.
I'm not going to take a lecture from somebody that dated that lunatic Keith Olbermann.
Matt Baer standing by with a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, northbound 3769 closed to 144 in Waverly because of a rolled semi. Westbound 70 stop from the airport ramp down to 267 because of construction. Southside eastbound 465 stop from 72 the White River. In Lawrence, southbound 465 stop and go traffic before 69 2-Penn Pike. It is a work zone. We're down to half an interstate for another couple of weeks. Traffic sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Whether you need a holiday job or extra staff for the season, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Visit ExpressPros.com, your connection for holiday hiring. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Man, I'm fired up.
I'm too.
Tonight's a night with WIBC, sold out event tonight. A bunch of WIBC friends, family, listeners all getting together tonight. I'm already pumped.
Yep. Thank you to Relay Indiana. And our segment tonight is presented by AAA.
Love AAA.
We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But if you're going to the big show tonight, you may hear some things that we're not allowed to say on these airwaves. So you've been warned. By the way, we got a tweet here, Nige, at Hammer and Nigel. This is in regards to if Donald Trump became the Speaker of the House. Kid Charlemagne tweets at us, Rob Reiner would have a stroke.
All those liberal Hollywood lefties hate Donald Trump. I mean, look, we all were saying it was a silly idea in 2015. We were all laughing at the idea. The entire country is laughing at the idea that Donald Trump could become president. Why is it so preposterous that he would become Speaker of the House, at least temporarily?
Coming up at 4 o'clock, Tommy Lahren will join us. She's a flamethrower, too. We'll find out what she thinks about this whole mess. 83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
JMV here from Miss M's Home and Garden. The big fall sale is here. 20 to 40% off nursery stock at Miss M's in Bargersville. MissM'sHomeandGarden.com.
We've created something special here in Carmel. I'm Sue Finkham, and it's here where I built my business and started a family and served as a leader on City Council, helping our community prosper and increasing government transparency. Now, we're America's #1 rated city, but we're just getting started. Lots of people talk about keeping Carmel the best city in America. But me, I'm the only one with the plan and experience to do it. I'm Sue Finkham. It's simple. Prioritize public safety by hiring, training, and equipping our first responders. Introduce responsible budgeting so every cent spent benefits us. And ensure development doesn't endanger our community's one-of-a-kind character.
Sue Finkham, the only candidate with the experience and vision to keep Carmel the best city in America, partnering with police to keep our community safe and ensuring responsible development to help our community thrive.
Together, let's keep Carmel on the path to success.
On November 7th, vote Sue Finkham for mayor.
Paid for by Sue Finkham Victory Committee.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's info 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
24/7 ER care for kids. 24/7 peace of mind for you. Riley Children's Health emergency doctors and nurses are in the ER around the clock at IU Health North in Carmel. Learn more at rileychildrens.org/ER.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I love it. Today is National Cinnamon Roll Day.
Oh, man.
It used to be a big damn deal in my family when I was a kid to load up the family truckster in Liston, Indiana, and head out on 74, get out on 465, go up to Castleton.
Ooh.
45-minute drive just to go get some TJ Cinnamons.
Oh, there you
go. Do you remember that? Do you remember TJ Cinnamon?
I do.
Wow. Look, it doesn't get any better for me than a good cinnamon roll. Nice, hot airport cinnamon roll.
Yeah, the big Cinnabon type of thing.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. Now, I haven't been able to eat those since I've started the diet because they're not the healthiest thing in the world. But you're right. Like, my wife will make some of those in the morning for our youngest for breakfast.
We make it for our kids, too.
And I just sit there and drool and stare at it because I know I can't have it. I'm like one of these guys out of Monument Circle, looking inside at a radio station doing unspeakable things. But I feel that way when I see cinnamon rolls. Hot. They're right out of the oven. They're soft. They've got that icing stuff all over it. Oh, man. So it's National Cinnamon Roll Day. So we turn to you. Where is the best place to get a cinnamon roll in Indianapolis?
Or where was the best place? TJ Cinnamon ain't around anymore.
Right. Take us down a trip down memory lane, or if you got a little spot that you like, and I don't care if it's mom or pop or a chain place, we're talking about the best cinnamon roll in Indy. Where can we find it? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just look for Hammer and Nigel. Now, to celebrate National Cinnamon Roll Day, our record label, Hammer and Nigel Records, we've got a little tribute here, and we begrudgingly we're channeling a little Neil Young when we put this together.
I see where this is going.
I like a real big cinnamon roll. I could be happy with a hot cup of Joe and a cinnamon roll.
This is so stupid.
The cinnamon and frosting is what I crave. I like to warm it up in the microwave. My cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll.
The DJ relaxes, the fatter he gets. Who needs the donuts when he can get a big cinnamon roll?
Is that a shot at us?
Maybe.
Wow. It's so dumb. I love it.
The Neil Young impression sounds a little bit like the Mitch McConnell impression, but
God, I love it.
Work in progress. So you got the big alarm earlier, right? The
alerts.
alerts.
I was in the can. I was washing my hands, scared the crap out of me, literally.
You knew it was coming, though, right?
But it came early. Like I put it, I saw, it's only 2:15. I'm going to put this in my pocket and not have to worry about it and do my business. And then 2:17, it hit instead of 2:20.
And it was like loud and it was over the top. And did any zombies start walking the streets? Because based on what I've read from social media, Nige, there's this conspiracy theory out there that if anybody got like the vaccine shot with the mRNA, stuff in it, that was going to be triggered by this alert. Did you see that?
The alert on people's cell phones will be used to activate nanoparticles introduced in the COVID vaccines. There's a woman that says the test will trigger graphene oxide that was put in people's blood through the vax. And when that happens, the government will be able to monitor people and control them like remote control.
Wow. The tinfoil hat we have on studio just put on a tinfoil hat. The tinfoil hat is now wearing a tinfoil hat.
And I'm no COVID vaccine expert, but I don't believe it contains the ingredient, whatever graphene oxide is. And scientists say you can't, quote unquote, activate it. And it makes no sense that it could somehow interact with wireless networks. But people, I'm just saying, those people are out there.
They are.
They live amongst us.
Now, didn't Russia also test something today?
A little creepy. Yeah, they had the same sort of national test. And they were talking about nukes and World War III, and this is a nuclear test and martial law. Kind of creepy. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but it was kind of creepy that it happened on the same day.
Again, the tinfoil hat's now wearing two tinfoil hats here in the studio.
The Low T Center, reinventing men's health care, man. At Low T, they make it so easy. You walk in, you take a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. So when we're talking about Low T, if you're feeling tired, grumpy, if you notice maybe some weight gain and loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. More details, of course, at lowtcenter.com.
Right now at the Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and you get your results back in about 25 minutes. The Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. They even have physician-monitored self-inject treatments that ship directly to your home. So you don't even need to physically go to a center. Get the information or make an appointment right now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Indianapolis. With Mayor Joe Hogsett, we've made real progress. Billions in new construction. Unemployment at a historic low. 700 new police. $1.2 billion in new infrastructure. Hundreds of new streetlights and thousands of college scholarships. Now Joe Hogsett is fighting the state abortion ban and to get guns off the street. But Joe knows the work isn't done. It's why he's hiring even more police, expanding community policing, and investing in programs that help keep kids out of trouble. And Jefferson Shreve, he supports banning abortion. And after getting an A rating from the NRA, Jefferson Shreve has been against any new gun laws. Jefferson Shreve is bringing Trump-style politics to Indianapolis and trashing our city. Re-elect Mayor Joe Hogsett. Steady leadership in times of change.
Paid for by Hogsett for Indianapolis.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Conditions will have to be met. Mostly sunny, 84 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear. You've got a low of 65 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. A boy accused of a school shooting in Noblesville back in 2018 has been locked up ever since, but now a judge says he can go home to his parents. John Herrick reports there are some rules he has to follow.
Investigators say he shot 2 people at Noblesville West Middle School that day. Both the victims survived. He's also accused of committing battery on a case manager at a juvenile facility this past April. The courts recommended that he go to a residential care facility, but he was denied after applications were sent to 3 locations. Some of the conditions he must meet: his parents' home has to be searched, he can't have any contact with the victims, and when he uses electronics, he always has to be supervised. His next court date is in December. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
He says chaos is never America's best friend.
And it's never a friend of American families that are struggling. And I'm deeply disappointed that a handful of Republicans would partner with all the Democrats in the House of Representatives to oust the Speaker of the House.
Former Vice President and Governor Mike Pence expects former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to have some support to regain his position. The White House has announced more student debt relief.
I believe the court's decision to strike down my student debt relief program was wrong, but I promised I wouldn't give up. Since then, my administration has been pursuing a new approach, grounded and under a different law, the Higher Education Act.
The Biden administration is approving $9 billion in student loan forgiveness for about 125,000 Americans. The Higher Education Act allows the Secretary of Education to compromise, waive, or release student debt under certain circumstances. It's going to be warm today, but don't get used to it.
As we get on to Thursday, highs will only be in the upper 60s on Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday, highs only, and Sunday only in the upper 50s on those days.
National Weather Service forecaster Jason Puma says we're about 20 degrees above normal temperatures for this time of the year. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. Your time is 3:32.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Bear.
All right, we're looking at westbound 70 stop traffic. Airport ramp, Centrix County into 267 because of construction going on until the 10th. Now on the south side, southbound 465 stops through 470 down to White River. Super Trucker Paul at WIBC Traffic telling us we have a stall blocking one of the lanes, and that's stopping traffic. Northbound 3769 crash. All lanes closed to 144 Waverly because of a rolled semi. And Lawrence southbound 465 stop and go after Allisonville Road down to Penn Pike. That is a traffic jam now, and it's because of road construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window. Now for a limited time, get up to 50% off all products, 2.99% financing, get a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to be. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we have a mostly cloudy end to our Wednesday coming up with a cloudy evening. Low temperature dropping to the mid-60s. Winds of the southwest at 5 to 10. And eventually a chance for some raindrops as we move into Thursday morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, my name is Nigel. Hammer's over there. So how do you feel about this Noblesville kid, this middle school shooter, who was 13 when he shot 2 people, a student and a teacher at Noblesville? He's been released to his parents on GPS monitoring, Hammer. The judge recommended that he go to a residential care facility, but nobody would accept him. And so, he applied to 3 different places, and nobody would take this guy. So he's 18 years old now and living at home.
I'm a little concerned that he has not been rehabilitated, because if 3 different rehabilitation centers said no, and keep in mind, he got into a fight while he was locked up in juvie.
Well, with a case manager, not just with a kid, like with an adult.
Right, and this wasn't that long ago. So I've got concerns that he's not completely rehabilitated, and now slap an ankle monitor on him. He's back out on the streets, living with his parents. He's got to go through all these different, parameters to stay out there. But, I mean, I hope he's okay. I hope he's better.
I do too. I mean, I hope he's rehabilitated so he will not hurt anybody ever again in his life.
But let me ask you this. You have a daughter. How would you feel if somebody shot your daughter and she lived, but they got back out on the streets less than 10 years later?
I'd want them. I can't even imagine. I couldn't even process the kind of emotions I'd have about that. No, of course, if I was this girl's dad, I'd want him to stay in jail for as long as humanly possible.
Because this wasn't like this was some sort of accidental deal.
No.
He was there to shoot and kill people. Now, thank God he did not kill anyone. And the heroic teacher basically saved the day that day.
Tackled the shooter.
Right.
That was on Carb Day.
Yes, it was.
You and I were both on the air that day back in 2018.
So I've got very mixed feelings about this, because I just don't feel like the justice system is working properly if this guy is back out and we still have questions of whether or not he's rehabilitated. Because keep in mind, some of the kids, I call them, I guess, that are locked up in juvie, that get accepted to these probation centers. And for 3 of these probation centers to say, we want nothing to do with that guy, that raises some questions to me. Now, on the subject of school shootings, school shooting took place at Morgan State University last night. This is a college located near Baltimore. 5 people, 4 students between the ages of 18 and 22 were shot and injured. Now, thank God all 5 are going to be okay. They're all expected to survive and recover. Yeah. But as of, when we came on the air earlier, they've not made an arrest in this situation. Because I got to tell you, Nigel, I got a kid in college right now, and although he doesn't live on campus per se, even if he did, I'd be a little freaked out knowing that 5 people were shot on the campus last night, 4 of them students, and they haven't brought the guy to justice yet.
That's crazy.
So last night, Fox News was covering this story. They took a break from everything going on with the House of Representatives, and I think Trace Gallagher was on the air. And he's doing the breaking news coverage, and they went to somebody they thought was an eyewitness. But it was conservative social media personality Mark Dice. Are you familiar with Mark Dice?
Not really.
He used to do this impression of Brian Stelter, on his social media feed. That kind of went viral. But other than that, just another guy, on social media. It's got a conservative following. But Mark Dice called in and pranked Trace Gallagher during coverage of this shooting at Morgan State University.
And we've got Tyrone on the phone with us now. Tyrone, when you say poker game, what exactly happened? What transpired?
Well, first we were watching, we all get together every Tuesday night, and we watch Tucker Carlson's show on X. We used to watch him on Fox News. Obviously, he's not there no more. Mm-hmm. And still being the most credible guy in the media in America, we always get together to watch Tucker Carlson. And I think he's doing probably better now that he's not with Fox News, because the corporate media always controls what the teleprompter readers are able to say. And now that he doesn't have that hand.
Thank you, Tyrone. Maybe we can work to get Don back on the phone. Tracy, we can get that. Clearly, that was not a student at Morgan State University.
Yeah, it was breaking news. They're in the news business. I mean, what was that guy doing? What was he trying to accomplish? What was he trying to say?
Right.
What was the point? I didn't even really understand what the point was.
Okay, so I'm going to read you his tweet afterwards, okay? After he called in and pranked Fox, just so you know where he's coming from. This was from Mark Dice on Twitter. Quote, Yeah, that was me who culture jammed Fox News live on air. While shootings of any kind are terrible and it's important to inform the public about potential danger, cable news always exploits tragedies in order to keep viewers glued to their screens and fill the airtime with anything available to them. In this case, some random caller whose name and identity they didn't even bother to verify before putting on the air as someone who supposedly knew what really happened.
Yeah, I mean, there should be more of a vetting process behind the scenes there at Fox News for sure. I mean, look what just happened. But they're in the news business. That's what they do. And they were covering breaking news, a school shooting, no less.
Right.
This guy's a clown, whatever.
And Trace Gallagher wasn't giving his hot takes on what happened. You know, he wasn't telling you his thoughts on gun control or, weak security or anything like that. It was, here's the story. We're trying to find information. We're hearing it resulted from a poker game gone bad. And somebody calls in and trolls.
That's fine. As a parent and I was watching breaking news and something like that happened, I'd be really upset if somebody that was a student at Morgan State University.
So I'm with you. I think that's a bad look for Mark Dice. But a good old-fashioned prank phone call can be fun if it's in the right context.
Sure, if you do it properly, they're hilarious.
Which brings us to great moments in prank call history. This is when former Trump advisor Sebastian Gorka was doing his radio program.
Mike in New York, welcome to America First.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gorka. Is this me?
Well, whether or not it's you is a kind of philosophical question, but if you're Mike in New York, then yes, you are live, Mike.
Oh, it's so great to talk to you. Mr. Gorka, I used to live in Rosemont, West Baltimore, and I find it very strange that nobody's asking a certain question about all this. Do you have to buy special shirts to fit your head through your neck hole?
In Baltimore, I'm not really sure. But that's a very strange question. Let's go to Josh in Wyoming,
Next
line
caller.
2.
Hi, how are you, Seb?
Very well. Welcome to America First.
Good, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous to be on the air.
Don't be. Nobody's listening. Only about 2 million people, so you can relax.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then I will just say that you are a balloon-headed motherfucker.
First of all, I like Sebastian Gorka. I think I follow him on Twitter. Great takes. I'd love to have him on the show sometime.
Back-to-back prank calls getting through, making fun of the size of his head. Great moments in prank call history. Let's go back a number of years ago. This was during the OJ chase. Al Cowling's behind the wheel. The OJ chase is taking place. Peter Jennings of ABC is on the air, and one of Howard Stern's guys got through.
We have on the phone with us as well Robert Higgins, who lives in the neighborhood and is on the ground and can see inside the van. Mr. Higgins.
Yes, how are you?
Just about as tense as you are, sir.
Oh, my Lord, this is quite the tensest.
What can you see?
Oh, what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at the van, and I see OJ kind of slouching down, looking very, very upset. Now, look at here. He look very upset. I don't know what he going to be doing. And I would be scared because there's cops all deep in this.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins.
And Baba Booey to y'all.
The driveway of O.J. Simpson's home in Brentwood.
Peter, by the way, just for the record, this is Al Michaels. That was a totally farcical call. He said something in code at the end that's indicative of the mentioning of the name of a certain radio talk show host.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Yeah, Baba Booey.
Yeah.
That wasn't even one. I think that was Captain Jenks. That wasn't even one of his better ones.
But it was during the tense moments of the OJ trial, or chase, rather. Not even the trial, the chase. But if we're going to talk about great prank phone calls of all time, let's go back to our former news guy, Stan Lear. He was the voice of WIBC for a number of years. He was our afternoon news anchor when we first came on Afternoon Drive.
Miss Stan.
We had a soundboard put together of various things he would say in newscasts, and you, Nigel, used the Stan Lear soundboard to call and prank your mother.
Hi, this is Christina. May I help you?
I'm Stan Lear.
Okay. How can I help you?
Have your children been vaccinated for measles?
Well, I'm not sure you have the right number. Who did you want to speak with?
It has been dubbed revenge porn.
Okay.
They say the sex was consensual.
You have an incorrect number. I'm sorry. You're going to have to call. I don't know who you want to speak with.
Pap smears are not a thing of the past.
Okay. I don't know.
Ever watch Cat House on HBO?
No, I don't. I don't know who you are or what you want.
I'm Stan Lear.
Would you like to speak with my supervisor?
You can party till you puke.
I really need to get my supervisor on this call because I don't know what's going on.
Patronize a pimp.
Sir, that is not anything that has to do with our business here. So...
Did you have pimples when you were in school?
What is wrong with you?
Pap smears are not a thing of the past.
That is really inappropriate, so you need to stop saying that.
Mom, it's just me.
What do you mean it's you?
I'm playing the clips of Stan over the phone here. It's just, I'm at work. You're on the air.
What do you mean, Nigel? Oh, my goodness. Are you serious? Oh, my goodness.
Ever watch Cat House on HBO?
Oh, Nigel.
Okay. Sorry to bother you at work, Mom.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Patronize a pimp.
I love working with you guys.
Great moments in prank call
She's
history.
still not talking to me.
Paid for by John Rust for U.S. Senate. Next year, Indiana Republicans will have the choice to pick our next U.S. Senator. But if it's up to Mitch McConnell and the D.C. swamp, we'll have no choice. The Washington elite and political insiders are trying to rig this election for their hand-picked career politician ally, Jim Banks. That's why conservative businessman and Indiana farmer John Rust has stepped up to fight for us. As a lifelong conservative, John believes we need an outsider's voice that's focused on Hoosiers. John Rust is committed to fighting the woke liberal mob, defending seniors by protecting Social Security, and creating an economy that works for middle-class families, not DC insiders. While Jim Banks and Mitch McConnell are focused on keeping power for themselves, John Rust is focused on putting Indiana first. Career politicians like Jim Banks are always talking about solving problems. But we can trust businessmen like John Rust to actually get the job done.
I'm U.S. Senate candidate John Rust, and I approve this message.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Leaves falling and getting stuck in your drains and gutters? Sounds like it's time for some maintenance. And who to call is a no-drainer. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're the experts in the industry and trustworthy plumbers who care about the health and safety of your home. During the month of October, Hope is offering a $49 mainline cleaning with a free camera inspection. So leave your worries behind this fall and call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE today to schedule your $49 mainline cleaning.
Colorectal cancer rates are on the rise, especially in younger adults. The good news? It's one of the few cancers that can be prevented through screening. So we're keeping up, making some changes, and saving lives. Franciscan Health now offers colonoscopy screenings for adults aged 45 and up. No doctor referral needed. And they're covered at 100% by most insurance plans. Are you 45? Screen sooner. Schedule your colonoscopy at franciscanhealth.org/coloncare.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Discover how to save more of your hard-earned money. Listen to WIBC this Saturday from 5 to 6 a.m. for secure retirement tips from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. This Saturday, 5 to 6 a.m. on WIBC.
Design it before you buy it. Up to 50% off all products and 2.99% financing plus $550 installation credit.
Tickets to Trans-Siberian Orchestra's The Ghost of Christmas Eve, The Best of TSO, and more at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 26th are on sale now. Purchase yours today and support local organization Sheltering Wings, whose mission is to provide emergency housing for survivors of domestic abuse. More info at WIBC.com.
Now, Matt Baer, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe our promotions department has set it up tonight to where somebody in the audience at a night with WIBC gets to go home with you.
Oh, they did. It's a good promotions department. Where are we going? Okay, no, that sounds great. Southbound 465, stop and go from Keystone Avenue down to East 56th Street and then to Penn Pike because of a stall. We have a stall in the work zone. It's a semi-trailer and it's blocking the center lane, leaving us with one lane in the area. Eastbound 70 stop and go to downtown from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois, and westbound 70 stops from the airport ramps out to State Road 267 because of road construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window. Now for a limited time, get up to 50% off all products, 2.99% financing, and a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to B. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Again, coming up about 4:05, Tommy Lahren joining the program. She's a flamethrower, man. We're going to find out what she thinks about this whole speaker drama. That's coming up a little bit after 4. It's 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Were we just talking about how it's National Cinnamon Roll Day?
Yes.
My goodness, today is the best day ever because it's actually also National Taco Day, Hammer.
Oh, man, I like both of those things, cinnamon rolls and tacos. Wow. So in honor of National Taco Day, Taco Bell has brought back its $10 Taco Lovers subscription. It gets you one free taco a day for the next month, but you have to sign up today on their app. So it's the Taco Lovers subscription. And really, Nigel, let's be honest, this just gives us an excuse for another edition of Great Moments in Taco Bell History.
Did we just do this?
This is a separate
I don't need an excuse.
argument that took place in the drive-thru. I think this was in Philly.
All right, when are you guys going to move? Somebody cutting in front of somebody, taking advantage of the situation. No, I'm not. I'm calling the police because what you did is...
Oh, my God, it's Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell. Like, everyone's going to eat.
But how she just going to cut in front of somebody?
It's not worth your energy.
You don't cut in front of somebody late at night
I'm with
at Taco Bell.
I agree.
Especially in Philly. Good Lord. So it's National Cinnamon Roll Day. It's National Taco Day. It's also National Vodka Day.
No way. The trifecta.
Boom, baby.
Do you like beer but can't get drunk from beer? Then try new vodka beer. The can says beer, but inside is 12 ounces of carbonated vodka. And the best part is, your wife will never know.
Honey, I'm so proud of you, cutting down to one beer a night.
Take off your underwear.
It's National Vodka Day, which means great moments in vodka history.
Ooh, what's that?
So, Nige, you, in a former life, worked at the rock station, and you were interviewing Slash, remember?
Yeah, from GNR.
And the urban legend was that he would drink, an entire bottle of vodka before going on the stage. You asked him about it.
That was just at the house before I went out that night. So
that was just your pre-drinking, huh?
Yeah, that was like just to get ready to go out and deal with the public that night.
Your liver must hate you right now.
No, actually, it's in pretty good shape. My heart gave out on me though, but my liver's good.
I love you're giving somebody a lecture on the state of their liver.
Well, I got to tell you, he wasn't just drinking a fifth of vodka before he'd go out. He would finish off a half gallon. I remember that conversation. It was a handle of vodka.
Oh!
Before he would go out and do a show and be amongst the public. That was his pre-drinking. And he's been sober for a long time now.
So I think the proper way to wrap up this segment on National Vodka Day is a good old-fashioned CSI joke.
Oh.
Can I pull off a CSI joke?
Absolutely,
Do you mind?
Absolutely, please.
So this is similar to the way the show CSI would come on the air, with Caruso a number of years ago. By the way, vodka is highly flammable, so don't light a cigarette anywhere near Joe Hogsett.
Wow.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You probably know how much money you've saved in your IRA or 401k, correct?
Oh, I know to the penny. Casey and I work in radio, so it's not that much.
Okay, well, here's another question. Do you know how much you'll owe in taxes on this money in retirement?
Absolutely not, because I'm an idiot, Casey. That's why I seek the help of trained professionals.
Well, that's the most important number you really need to know, Rob. Otherwise, you're not going to know how much money you really do have.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could dramatically reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k. Just go to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. That's SaveTaxesWithBill.com. Just input a few numbers and you'll instantly see how much money you could save in taxes when you retire. It's from Bill Dimry, our good friend right here in Indy.
Don't give the government a nickel more in taxes than you have to. Learn how much money you could save in taxes when you retire by going to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. It's SaveTaxesWithBill.com.
How would you like to stay home and make $726 to $1,000 a week processing mail for local businesses in your area as a remote home worker? Robert Cashmore here, and I have great news for you. Due to the global pandemic, the workplace in America has changed dramatically. The demand for remote workers is overwhelming. Many businesses in your local area have started to use remote workers to save money on office expenses and give remote home workers more flexibility. You can choose to work part-time or full-time. The work is simple and easy and can all be done from the convenience of your own home. Don't delay. Simply call and leave a message with your name and address, and we will send you the Remote Workers of America application for free. Yes, free. Simply call 1-800-781-0233. That's 1-800-781-0233. Again, 1-800-781-0233.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hoosiers should know that the Holcomb administration is preparing to strip access to therapy from thousands of children with autism. These proposed cuts would devastate families caring for children with autism, force therapy centers to close, and lead to therapy deserts right here in West Central Indiana. Even worse, Governor Holcomb's administration is making this decision based on out-of-date information, skewing the results. We must stop this callous attack on Hoosier children with autism. Otherwise, thousands of Indiana families will lose access to services. Nicole Parker from Darlington is a mom of a child with autism who would lose access to services.
These callous cuts are not what Hoosiers stand for. I urge legislators and the state budget committee to say no to the Holcomb administration's proposed cuts.
Leaders of the State Budget Committee must reject the Holcomb administration's rate proposal. Support a rate that keeps centers open and protects life-changing therapy for children with autism. Paid for by the Market Institute.
Coming up in 2 minutes, it's going to feel more like fall soon, and a few Powerball winners in Indiana this week. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Who's next?
Next on Capitol Hill, Lisa Brady, Fox News. At least 2 members of Congress are running for House Speaker so far. Majority Leader Steve Scalise and Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan.
There's one school of thought that the House could wrap this up quickly. Why? Because they absolutely must do so. The House cannot be rudderless for long. But others are not as confident the House can solve this crisis immediately. It took 5 days to elect former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in January.
Fox's Chad Program on the Hill. House business on hold in the meantime with just 40 days left in the short-term funding that avoided a government shutdown. President Biden says Congress should not face another 11th hour decision on government funding. Also saying today that a poisonous atmosphere in Washington needs to change.
Answering questions from reporters, the president said he is worried about lawmakers approving more aid for Ukraine.
But I know there are a majority of members of the House and Senate in both parties who have said that they support funding Ukraine.
President Biden says he intends to make a major speech in the coming days to make the case for why Ukraine aid is in U.S. interest.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Former President Trump spending a third day voluntarily attending his New York civil fraud trial, which he says is rigged against him and his political aspirations.
As the non-jury trial took a break, the former president stepped out and lashed out against the man presiding over it.
The judge already knows what he's going to do. He's a Democrat judge.
And New York Attorney General Letitia James, whom he accused of political interference for taking him to court during the campaign.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Trump also still insisting he did not inflate his net worth. The judge has already ruled assets were overvalued, which the defense is appealing. A late rally on Wall Street. The Dow up 126 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to feel more like fall. Cloudy at 84 degrees on the circle. You've got a clear radar. Low temps tonight drop to the mid-60s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Temperatures are going to drop the next few days. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Our normal high for this time of year is usually in the upper 60s.
So we're well above normal for today. But once we have this cold front go through, we're going to see temperatures more closely to our normals or slightly below normal.
National Weather Service forecaster Jason Puma says we may get some rain along with some cooler temperatures, but not enough rain to take us out of a drought. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The boy police say is responsible for the Noblesville West Middle School shooting in 2018 has been released to his parents under certain conditions. The judge Wednesday said he can't have any weapons, can't show up on any school properties, and he'll be tracked by a GPS. There's a few others as well. Police believe he shot a teacher and classmate 5 years ago. He's due back in court this December. Kevin McCarthy being ousted as Speaker of the House has Mike Pence concerned about his own party.
I'm deeply disappointed that a handful of Republicans would partner with all the Democrats in the House of Representatives to oust the Speaker of the House.
Pence speaking before yesterday's vote even happened. The former Indiana governor says he expects several Republicans to vote for McCarthy to become the Speaker again. A couple of winning Powerball tickets were bought in Indiana Monday. John Hayrick reports.
Someone claimed a $100,000 winning ticket at a gas station in Vigo County. The other was a $50,000 ticket purchased in Johnson County. Both tickets matched 4 out of 5 numbers plus the Powerball, but the $100,000 one also had a Power Play multiplier. The Powerball jackpot for tonight's drawing is supposed to be around $1.2 billion, which is the third largest in the history of the game. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Butler University's popular mascot, Butler Blue IV, has a torn ligament in his right hind leg. The dog's handler, Evan Cross, spotted it through observation.
And I noticed that he had a limp and was favoring his right leg a bit. Assumed it was just asleep from sleeping in a weird position, but I kept an eye on it.
Blue was also diagnosed with bronchitis. Once he recovers, he'll have surgery to repair that bad leg. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hoosiers should know that the Holcomb administration is preparing to strip access to therapy from thousands of children with autism. These proposed cuts would devastate families caring for children with autism, force therapy centers to close, and lead to therapy deserts right here in West Central Indiana. Even worse, years, Governor Holcomb's administration is making this decision based on out-of-date information, skewing the results. We must stop this callous attack on Hoosier children with autism. Otherwise, thousands of Indiana families will lose access to services. Nicole Parker from Darlington is a mom of a child with autism who would lose access to services.
These callous cuts are not what Hoosiers stand for. I urge legislators and the State Budget Committee to say no to the Holcomb administration's proposed cuts.
Leaders of the State Budget Committee must reject the Holcomb administration's rate proposal. Support a rate that keeps centers open and protects life-changing therapy for children with autism. Paid for by the Market Institute.
The traffic in the 5s at 4:05. What's going on, Matt Baird?
Good Lord, Harrison. We're looking at westbound 70. Stopped right now from Indianapolis Airport Collector Ramp out to 267. It's a 4-mile delay because of road work blocking the right lane. South side, stall cleared. Eastbound 465 at Man. Crash coming into downtown from the west side. It's eastbound 70 at Tibbs. Traffic is backed up to Sam Jones Expressway. Inbound 65 jamming up at the White River to Meridian Penn. Lawrence southbound 465. It's construction and a stalled semi in the middle, so we are stopped from Allisonville Road down to Penn Pike, and then eastbound 465 stop traffic ready from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road before it runs into that construction delay. Traffic sponsored by Comcast to Business. Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on Root Metrics U.S. report results vary, not an endorsement. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we have a mostly cloudy end to our Wednesday coming up with a cloudy evening. Low temperature dropping to the mid-60s. Winds of the southwest at 5 to 10. And eventually a chance for some raindrops as we move into Thursday morning. I'm Wish TV's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Tommy Lahren is no stranger to controversy.
I have a question for the self-righteous Hollywood liberal.
Fox News contributor Tommy Lahren.
Tommy Lahren.
Tommy Lahren. Joining us right now, Tommy Lahren. Tommy Lahren.
Please welcome Tommy Lahren. It's this country, the country that you have so much disdain for, that allows you the right to speak your mind. It protects your right to be a whiny, indulgent, attention-seeking crybaby.
Nigel, Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
She is the host of Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick. You can also find her as a contributor on Fox News. Tommy Lahren joins us. Tommy, we had booked you on this show to talk about your former governor, Greasy Gavin, and his shadow campaign, and, you know, maybe your thoughts on that ridiculous debate the other night, but hell, it's been a wild 24 hours with the Speaker of the House and all that drama in D.C. I'm just curious, what did you think about everything going on yesterday?
Well, I got to be honest with you. It's hard for me when I see the theatrics. And I don't, it's not because I think Kevin McCarthy is the greatest speaker, and I'm not a Kevin McCarthy apologist, but it's frustrating to me when I feel like we have certain members of our Republican Party who want to blow things up, not for the sake of the country necessarily, but just for the sake of getting attention or social media followers. And I don't dislike Matt Gaetz' policies. I think he's a very smart guy. I think that he loves the country. But, you know, I think we can all agree that he also loves him some Matt Gaetz, and he likes to see himself in lights. And that's frustrating to me. When you're going to blow things up and you're going to make, you know, a big disruption, you have to have a fallback plan. And now they're saying, you know, how long could this take until we figure out what we're doing? Meanwhile, the American people are looking at Republicans thinking, wow, they can't even manage their own house. How the heck are they going to manage the country? So that is my biggest concern.
And we were on the air yesterday when all of this was taking place, the vote and the debate and everything else. And I had the same thoughts, Tommy. I really did. I thought, man, they're doing this. They don't have a fallback plan. You know, what's going on? But then today, I kind of hear that Jim Jordan has thrown his name into the mix. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, I feel like that's the type of guy that could get through the process relatively quickly. A lot of people wanted him to be the guy last time around. And who knows, maybe this whole thing won't be as bad as we think it is. Does that make sense?
It does. And Jim Jordan is also one of my favorites. I wanted him to be our speaker all along. You know, initially he didn't want it. So now him coming around to the idea, I think he understands how powerful he is and how well-liked he is. You know, he has been an executor. You know, he gets things done. With the Biden investigation, he is the one that's been on the forefront of holding big tech accountable, holding the Bidens accountable in every way that he can. I'm a big Jim Jordan fan, so I would love to see him as our speaker. But on the other side of it, when is the last time we had a Republican speaker that didn't get absolutely just ripped to shreds? We have all these people that, you know, we kind of like, and then they become speakers, and then all of a sudden they can't make anybody happy, and they are just thrown to the wolves. So I worry about that for Jim Jordan, because there is a certain segment of, you know, the Republican Party that expects perfection, and they maybe don't have a realistic grasp on what it takes to be in that position and the negotiations and the compromise that has to happen. We don't have enough of a majority in the House to throw our weight around. But people like Matt Gaetz and others think that that's the case. And that's where I'm a little concerned. I don't want to see Jim Jordan railroaded if he is in that position, because I understand what a difficult position he would be in, and I don't want to see him be Kevin McCarthy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very fun position. It's a powerful position, but it just doesn't seem like one, and I understand why he didn't want it the first time around. Maybe this time could be different. Tommy Lahren is our guest. Does it seem big picture? The difference between Democrats and Republicans is the cohesive unity. I feel like the Democrats are unified. They're one unified front, and the Republicans are fractured right now. And it just seems like a big problem heading into the 2024 election.
I talked about this on my show today, but here's the deal. Most average Americans don't care who the Speaker of the House is.
Yep.
I know we care. We talk about politics. We care about this stuff. And in D.C., it's a big deal. But your average American out there, I could go talk to 10 people at the grocery store here in Nashville, Tennessee right now and ask them if they were worried about who was going to be the Speaker of the House, and they would look at me with blank stares. They would not care. What they would care about, though, is when they go to the checkout line and they see how expensive their groceries are. They care about that. So this is what worries me. We get so into the minutia of, the Speaker, and we have to have a purist and a mega and all this. But what are we doing to show the American people that we can govern for them?
Tommy,
that is my biggest concern here. Disconnect.
Tommy Lahren with us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. So let's go back about a week or so ago, Tommy. I just finished watching whatever that was, that debate between the also-rans on the stage. And then afterwards, I see your former governor, Gavin Newsom, old greasy Gavin, walking around. He's working the room. He's got that smile on his face. This guy is running for president, right?
Oh, I've been saying it for months now. I firmly believe he's going to be the Democrat nominee. And, you know, he does work a room, though. And that is what I have talked to you guys about this before. It would be great if we could underestimate Gavin Newsom and say, nobody will ever elect something like a radical California governor to be the president of the United States. But no, again, be worried, because this man knows how to work a room. He knows how to work a talking point. So I'm concerned, and I'm concerned if he is the Democrat nominee. Right now, we've got Donald Trump maybe just a little bit ahead of Joe Biden in the national polls, and Joe Biden can barely function. What happens when you get a fully functional demon like Gavin Newsom? I'm worried. I'm very worried.
What do you think about this upcoming debate with Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis? Just your overall thoughts on that.
Well, I think it's an opportunity for Ron DeSantis. Now, it's not going to be easy, because Gavin Newsom, he lies with the best of them, he makes his lies sound so good. So it's going to be up to Ron DeSantis to hold him accountable. I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to come off as smooth as Gavin Newsom, but I do think this is an opportunity for Ron DeSantis to show that he's a fighter, that he goes out and he gets in the arena. You know, they always talk about Donald Trump getting into the arena, but I don't know about you guys. I've been really disappointed in Donald Trump for the last year, because I don't think he's been in the arena. I think he's been in his own arena, but he's not gotten in the arena, and he hasn't felt like he needs to answer to the American people or his own party. I get it. He doesn't want to debate. He thinks he's above it all. But this is an opportunity for Ron DeSantis to say, not only do I get in the ring, I get in the ring with whoever, wherever, anytime, any place, and I will go to bat, even when it might not be a fair fight. I want to see it from Ron DeSantis, and I think this is an opportunity for him to maybe close a little bit of that gap in the primary.
Why do you think DeSantis's campaign hasn't really ignited and, resonated with people. Because a lot of people that have called our show, Tommy, and people that tweet at us and all these things, they kind of say the same thing. Donald Trump, he's got the personality. Ron DeSantis would be the best behind the desk at legislation. Do you buy that? And if you do, why hasn't he resonated with more people?
Well, here's the problem. Donald Trump has been the leader of this party, and he has created a movement for this party. He has resurrected this party from the days of Mitt Romney and John McCain. So that's why we love him. But part of that also is that he comes with a base and a following that has gone in some cases rabid, and they've attacked Ron DeSantis out the gate even before he announced they were attacking him. So they started laying in the punches and the digs and kind of trying to mar and taint this guy for so long now that he has had to just scrape and fight because he's been battling the mega of it all. So that's why I think you haven't seen those poll numbers close nationally. But I'm very curious to see state by state how this goes, because I'm telling you, I don't think Trump is as far ahead in Iowa as it appears, because Ron DeSantis has been the one there doing the work. So I think when people actually get out to vote, not the people that are on Twitter, but the people that are actually going to go out to vote, I think you might see the gap close a little bit, and I think you might even see Ron DeSantis take Iowa.
Tommy, last thing here before we let you go. I know you have been one of the constant folks that have been telling the truth about the border. Even when the story would fall out of the news cycle, you have been talking about the situation at the border, and now we're seeing numbers there that rival what happened when Title 42 went away. So, again, what are your thoughts on what you see happening at the southern border and the response or lack thereof from the White House?
I mean, these people are just bum rushing at this point. They're video after video after video. And, I was actually talking to my team today. It's like, I want to talk about the border every day because I think it's that important. But you get to a point, it's like, what else can you say? I mean, we're being invaded and nobody's doing anything about it. So it's very, very frustrating to see this just happen and just watch it happen. And it's like, yeah, these people are taking advantage of us. They're coming into our cities. They're taking hotel rooms. They're taking, in some cases, taking up space for our disabled and homeless veterans. And we just sit back and go, yeah, well, I guess that's the situation. It's so frustrating. But I'll tell you this, even more than what's happening at the border, just wait and watch in the next few months what's going to happen in places like New York City and Chicago when you've got all these young single men, illegal immigrants, just meandering, loitering about. Pretty soon they're going to get in tandem with our already existing gangs and criminal organizations. They're already ravaging the cities, and they're going to start working together, and it's going to be an absolute onslaught. So beware. It's about to go down, and it's going to be irreversible in a lot of places.
What is coming up on Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick?
Well, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, besides all of the talk about what's going on in, the House of Representatives, I think another really important story that needs to be discussed is the absolute sabotage of Trevor Bauer, the former MLB Dodgers pitcher who was lied about, slandered by this gold digger. Him putting out that video with these text messages, her talking about getting the $51 million and her next victim, and she's got to get choked out. I'm talking to Michelle Tafoya, of course, legendary sideline reporter. I'm talking to her about that tonight, and I think it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Absolutely, 100%. Tommy, you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, westbound 70 Hendricks County. Here it is. We stop in two places. The first one after the 465 ramps out to the airport collector. And then we're stopped again from the airport collector at the 267. It's a 1.5 mile delay, then a 4 mile delay on this same interstate, and the second one because of construction, so the whole thing is screwed. Eastbound 70 crash at Holt Road. That is blocking the left lane, stopping traffic back to Sam Jones Expressway. Delayed again on eastbound 70 from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Inbound 65 jammed at the White River to Meridian Penn. Lawrence, eastbound 465 stops at Keystone Avenue. Let's go around Penn Pike for road construction and a stall in the center lane. It's a mess. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. After a car wreck, it can feel like you're in a horror show. Don't let the insurance company make you feel like you're living in a bad, scary movie. Just click to get help quick at WeWin.com. Happy Halloween from the Hammer. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
I cannot tell you how much I love the new coating on my garage floor that Galaxy Concrete Coatings installed. It only took them a day, and now my garage floor looks flawless. It's 4 times as strong, and they don't use epoxy. That's what all my neighbors have been asking. Is that epoxy? No. That's what the other guys use. That's the old standard. This is better. It's polyurea. I'm talking about the new premium standard for garage floor coatings or anywhere else, your basement, your pool deck, or any kind of indoor or outdoor area. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or give them a call, 751-9070.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Joe Hogsett's been a politician for 34 years, and that's a lot of photo ops. But when riots broke out downtown, when police needed a mayor, there's no photo of Joe Hogsett. He was nowhere to be found. Since then, violent crimes off the chart. Police leaving the force. We're now 300 cops short. As a result, 2 out of 3 homicides now go unsolved. India's in crisis, and we need a mayor, not Photo Op Joe.
Not too long ago, Indy hosted a Super Bowl. We welcomed the world. We had a belief in our city back then that Indy could be magnetic, dynamic. Now, crime makes us feel unwelcome in our own neighborhoods. Joe Hogsett tried to do something about it. It's gotten steadily worse. Jefferson Shreve isn't running on a promise to try. He's running on a plan. Learn more about Shreve's plan at shreveformayor.com.
Paid for by Shreve for Mayor.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I will run some stories by you. You simply tell us if the stories in question are anything or not.
Easy enough.
Is this anything? A police officer in California who recently won an award for having the most DUI arrests has been arrested for DUI.
Oh, no.
Here is the Mothers Against Drunk Driving program specialist and law enforcement liaison Lori reacting to the arrest of Officer Raymond Barantes.
I'm surprised constantly by who gets drunk driving arrests. We work very, very closely with West Sac Police Department, and we're trusting that they're going to handle it well internally and that the officer will be held accountable, which is what's important to us. It is not always who you expect it to be.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, it's something. It's disappointing when something like that happens. And I'm sure all the other officers in his unit are very disappointed with this guy. Does he deserve to lose his job? I don't think so. I think you give him one chance and that's it. Look, alcoholism is crazy. It makes people do dumb crap. Look at what happened with Officer Broussard.
Yeah.
Remember that story?
Oh, yeah.
Over and over and over again. That happened, and he killed somebody and he couldn't stop drinking. So I hope this officer gets the help that he needs, but I think he should have a second chance. And it is a little terribly ironic that he won the award for most DUI arrests back a few years ago.
Kind of reminds me of Eugene Robinson, the former Falcons player. He was awarded the NFL's Man of the Year award, like right before the Super Bowl. And the next night he got busted with a hooker.
Ooh.
So sometimes life comes at you fast, man. Is this anything? A TikToker shared what might be the best ever response to a cat call. Okay. She filmed herself talking about it right after the cat call happened.
This man just catcalled me at the front of a construction site, and so I yelled back at him, "Sorry, I don't have any change." And the way that all the men on the construction site started laughing at him and pointing at him. It's that simple. Sorry, don't have any change.
That's kind of funny. So implying that he's homeless.
Right. He looks like the type of guy that would be homeless.
Okay, yeah, that's something. That's pretty clever. But do cat calls really happen anymore? Like the stereotypical, what's a stereotypical cat call?
Like there's a construction worker standing outside.
Right.
And, hey, honey, those legs go all the way up.
Is that
the whistle?
Is that considered a cat call? Hey, honey, hey, baby.
Or is it just flat out filth, flarn filth? Hey, honey, why don't you blank my blank and blankety blank?
Common cat calls. Let's see what turns up here.
See what it says.
No, it's a bunch of real cat things.
No, that's not what we want.
I don't want that. Nope, it doesn't come up. It's all cat stuff.
You keep looking for dirty things on the internet, and we'll move on.
Okay.
Is this anything? A woman apparently threw thousands of dollars at a man on the runway of the Vienna airport in Austria during an argument.
Really?
The flight was initially set to fly from London to Thailand, but had to do an emergency landing because the couple was having a really bad fight on the plane. Here is some reaction from people filming the argument on board the plane.
Oh, look at that money. £5,000. That's what she said. He's got a £5,000. All the money on the airport. Look.
Yeah, that's something. That's crazy. So they had to kick these people knew each other? They kicked them off the plane?
Yeah, they were having some sort of argument, and they were throwing money at each other and all types of things.
Oh, that's awesome. Getting in an argument with somebody. I mean, yeah, you don't get to go to where you're going. You get kicked off the plane, but I mean, if you got a lady throwing thousands of dollars at you, what do you want to bet was involved here? We don't know the reason. We don't know what the argument was about.
Somebody cheated on somebody.
Somebody forgot whose husband they were, or that they had a wife. Somebody was cheating on somebody. Now, I did type in common man cat calls. Cat calls typically associated with men. Hey, baby, give me a smile. You'd look so much prettier if you smiled. Hey, baby, you got a boyfriend? Can I have your number, baby?
This sounds like inquisition. It's not like catcalling. This is an interview.
What's your hurry, babe? And then it ends with, nice ass.
Well, that is a cat call. That's a cat call. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
So many things to be focused on and worried about when you're a homeowner. I'm a homeowner. I'm grateful that I'm a homeowner, but sometimes it's just too much. The last thing I want to be worried about is my HVAC. That's why I have an American Standard unit installed in my house. If you need American Standard service, Hammer will tell you who you need to check out.
How about Kirby Heating and Air? Kirby has been in the business for well over 3 decades. Lloyd and Jessica Kirby are the founders of this great family-run business, and now sons Robert and Adam are carrying on the tradition of excellent service. Kirby, taking care of Hendricks and the surrounding counties. The reason they choose to install American Standard? One word. Quality. So if you need furnace service and you want to get ahead of the nasty weather coming in, contact Kirby, 892-3614. That's 892-3614, or go to kirbyheating.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
They hope it's a quick process. 84 degrees with a mix of clouds and sunshine downtown. Nothing on the radar. Low of 65 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. The Biden administration hopes Republicans can quickly elect the new House Speaker after Kevin McCarthy was removed yesterday.
The president hopes the House will quickly elect a speaker because the urgent challenges facing our nation will not wait.
Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, Congressman Matt Gaetz wanted McCarthy out, claiming he broke too many political promises. Before the votes were even cast Tuesday, Mike Pence said the chaos doesn't do any good for Americans.
And it's never a friend of American families that are struggling. And I'm deeply disappointed that a handful of Republicans would partner with all the Democrats in the House of Representatives to oust the Speaker of the House.
The former vice president and Indiana governor says he expects former Speaker McCarthy to have some support in regaining his position. The boy who police say is responsible for the Noblesville West Middle School shooting in 2018 has been released to his parents, but he has some conditions to meet. John Herrick explains.
The judge said Wednesday that the boy can't have any weapons, he must not be on any school property, and his location will be monitored by GPS, just to name a few. Police believe he shot a teacher and a classmate at the middle school back in 2018 and committed battery against a case manager at a juvenile facility back in April of this year. He's due back in court in December for a review hearing. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Jonathan Taylor was back at practice with the Indianapolis Colts today, but those contract issues are still lingering in the background.
And I have good conversations with them, and this stuff happens, right? This stuff happens in football. It happens all around the league. But to have him back and, ready to go and, practicing with the team, it's going to be good to see.
Head coach Shane Steichen says he's focused on getting Taylor and quarterback Anthony Richardson working together and learning from one another. The Colts have the Tennessee Titans this Sunday at home. Your stock report today, the Dow closed up by 127 to 33,129. The NASDAQ up by 176 to 13,236. And the S&P 500 finishing up by 34 to 4,263. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:32.
Hi, my name is Karen Morrell, and I'm a member of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church. I've been blessed to have many role models guiding me on my faith journey. I've always wanted to serve and help others, and TAB makes this easy by offering many outreach opportunities in our community. This has helped me find a purpose to use my God-given gifts to help others grow and thrive. Through worship, Bible study, serving meals, tutoring, and women's ministries, I've connected with others and received a sense of belonging and purpose. TAB is a place where you can connect and serve. I'm Karen Morrell, and I invite you to come and see for yourself.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
With traffic at 4:33, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison, westbound 70 by the airport is just savage right now. First, we have a crash about halfway between 465 and the collector that has a slow to 465. After that, the real traffic begins. Stop traffic from the airport collector past State Road 267 because of emergency maintenance that started yesterday. Eastbound 70 stop and go due downtown from Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. Northbound 69, the part that was just built, is closed to State Road Road 144 in Waverly because of a rolled semi. Lahren, southbound 460, 5 stops on the eastbound side. That's Keystone Avenue all the way down to Penn Pike because of construction. We also have a stall in the center lane, and God only knows what else. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window, now for a limited time. Get up to 50% off all products, 2.99% refinancing, and a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to be. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we have a mostly cloudy end to our Wednesday coming up with a cloudy evening. Low temperature dropping to the mid-60s. Winds of the southwest at 5 to 10. And eventually a chance for some raindrops as we move into Thursday morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Tommy Lahren from Fox News mentioned Major League Baseball player Trevor Bauer. We'll get an update with him here in just a few minutes. It's some of the crap that he's been going through for the past couple of years. I wanted to start out with some audio this segment, Hammer, of former IU alum and ESPN host Sage Steele was on with Bill Maher, of all people. Club Random is Bill Maher's podcast,
which is separate from the HBO show.
Yeah, HBO show is like real political. This one's just them BSing. He usually is drinking. The guest is drinking, or he's usually smoking weed at the same time. But he is not like, look, he's still just a sort of crazy anti-MAGA, never Trump guy. Hates Donald Trump. Hates his followers. Doesn't necessarily hate his followers. I'll take that back. But he's the kind of guy that's like, if you voted for Trump, you're an idiot. That's sort of his attitude. You'd vote for a guy that would deny an election.
But he's also the kind of guy that criticizes his own party,
Absolutely.
The Democrats.
He would call himself a old school left winger, not a crazy woke Democrat of today.
Right. A Clinton-style Democrat, basically. And Bill Maher, to his credit, has guests on his program that don't always have the same ideology that he has. And Sage Steele falls into that category. So Sage Steele worked at ESPN, and ESPN went super left. I mean, they went very progressive, all about, left-leaning policies. Sage Steele basically would speak up about it or put something on social media. They would suspend her, but not anybody else at the station.
Oh, yeah.
So here she is, chatting with Bill Maher on his podcast about cancel culture and how people wanted to cancel her because she is a black female conservative.
It's attacks, it's death threats, it's threatening to rape my daughters. It's another level of ugliness that to me is inexcusable. But here's the thing. What has happened is quite often when those threats come and when it gets super ugly and then you get canceled on Twitter, X, that's happened so many times now. I'm like, bring it. Like, I'm so not afraid anymore. But what they expect is for you to be afraid and to just go quiet and run from it. And that's what I did. And many people do. And I see why, because it can be very costly in many ways. But the beautiful thing to me is when you realize, wait a minute, they took me down, or they tried, and I'm still here, and I'm back again and again. They just believe that you're eventually going to go away and be scared away, and I get it because it usually works, and then they don't know what to do when you're no longer freaking afraid.
And the message there is, don't ever bow down to the mob. You can't be canceled if you make yourself uncancelable.
Well, look, you remember she got suspended from ESPN for tweeting out that, or she criticized ESPN for their COVID-19, vax mandate. And you get suspended for that. But of course, somebody like Jamel Hill calls the president of the United States a white supremacist. That's all fine and dandy. But you don't dare question the COVID-19 vaccine mandates.
Again, this is Sage Steele on Bill Maher's podcast talking about how everything seems to be racist.
That is so stupid. That for the people to say that it's racist to have people to show a freaking ID to vote. What? Because
I agree.
Because we're not, as black people, we're not smart enough to remember our driver's license.
It's so funny when the woke do these things that they think are so not racist that are then.
It's actually racist.
Yeah, same thing with they constantly conflate like black people committing violence with police being bad to black people, like. Let's pull the police out. Well, that hurts the people, the
people who need help the most.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a racist for saying, I expect you to have an identification of some kind if you're going to pick the leaders of this country. No. Doesn't make you a racist. And Bill Maher had an idea, and you'll hear the soundbite here. He thinks Sage Steele should be one of the panelists on The View.
I swear to God, I just had a brainstorm. You should be on The View.
Hell no.
They should pay you. They should
I've been on The View, and it didn't go so well. Because you know what? At The View, they don't want your view. They only want theirs, and they're bullshit. And I experienced it. I felt it. And they were nice to me, relatively speaking. Whoopi was very nice to me. Jenny McCarthy. This is Whoopi, Jenny McCarthy, Sherry Shepard, and Barbara Walters. And they were great to me. Barbara, whatever. The other three were great. What I know for a fact, I did it 4 times, and then they had me audition when they were making changes again. They 100% are full of it. They don't want to hear your view if you think differently than they do. And they are fine telling lies on that stage and that set. And because they know that if someone calls them on it, then they're just going to talk over them and have the audience clap and go to break. So the show to me is despicable, and it makes me sad because the potential for 20-some years, I respect the length that they've done it, but the potential is incredible, and they've ruined it.
Yeah, Sonny Houston and Joy Behar, just despicable.
Just awful people.
Awful people. And the way that Sage Steele described, every clip we've ever seen is them arguing with somebody that has a different viewpoint, and then Whoopi, maybe the audience claps for the panelist with a different viewpoint, and Whoopi interrupts everybody and says they have to go to break.
Every show.
It happens every show.
Every time they've got somebody on that's a conservative or a Republican, that's what happens every time. All right, so the Trevor Bauer story is crazy. We wanted to talk about this yesterday, but we had such a chaotic breaking news day, we didn't get to it. So Trevor Bauer was a baseball pitcher. I played for the Cincinnati Reds and then signed a massive free agent deal to go play for the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer was a single guy, had a girlfriend, but was not married, got caught up with some crazy chick, and they started having relations.
Oh, you like the rough stuff?
They like the rough stuff, and text messages show all that. Consensual. But the chick ultimately said that he sexually assaulted her, soured his name. He was suspended from Major League Baseball, got blackballed by baseball, had to play last season overseas in Japan, and now all the things have been settled. He's putting out there some information that people didn't get right away. So I'm going to play you a couple sound bites here. Now, this first one, it's a little long, but I want you to stay in there because every bit of this is important. This is Trevor Bauer, Major League Baseball, former Major League Baseball player, talking about how some gold digger tried to shake him down, and he's got the text messages to prove it.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is $51 million, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you $50,000, Lindsay replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But, as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally concealed from us.
Whoa.
And think about all of the media outlets that smeared this dude. Sarah Spain of ESPN calling him every name under the sun, saying he should never play baseball again. All these websites just bashing this dude without any sort of real evidence.
Well, in Major League Baseball.
Right. Major League Baseball suspending him for what? He was never charged with anything. And you'll hear a little bit more in the second soundbite how things ultimately played out.
After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsay Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsay Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsay Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021.
Unbelievable. And it's so sad because, it just diminishes real instances of sexual assault when these kinds of things happen.
This is the Duke lacrosse story.
It totally is.
All over again.
Yeah.
It's 100% that. And a lot of people owe Trevor Bauer an apology.
I'm sure Sarah Spain from ESPN was quick to tweet out her apology over the whole thing, right?
Oh, no, she's going on a blocking spree if anybody that calls her out about it.
Oh, well, of course.
And that whole believe all women thing, maybe we could pump the brakes on that too. Don't believe anybody. You shouldn't believe all men. You shouldn't believe all women.
And wait to get some facts first.
Right, because there are some horrible people out there, including gold diggers, that are out to ruin lives.
Mecum Auction. The world's largest collector car auction company returns to Indy for the fall special, October 5th to the 7th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, customs, and more. Broadcast live on Motor Trend TV and Motor Trend Plus. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
Hey, Ruthie, I'm making my Indiana sweet corn casserole, so if you got a reco, I'm all ears.
Well, Total Wine has this amazing straight bourbon whiskey that's made with 58% corn, so no wonder it's a hit here in Indianapolis.
Perfect. I'll pop it in my cart.
Also, check it out. We have it for the lowest price in town.
Wow, that's a low price. Ruthie, you're the best in your field.
Aw, shucks. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at your Total Wine & More in Indianapolis. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
World-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Design it before you buy it.
up to 50% off all products and 2.99% financing plus $550 installation credit.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra on December 26th at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Go to WIBC.com for more info.
And let the record clearly state, not to toot my own horn here, but Rob Kendall and myself have been talking about this Trevor Bauer story for a while, and we were right from the beginning because all the information that was coming out seemed odd. And then you've got a female judge in liberal California that says, yeah, we're not granting you any of this kind of stuff, which is very rare. The writing was on the wall there. And then when he got those text messages and the videos, it basically completely exonerates him.
Game over.
Game over. Matt Bear, what's going on?
Southbound 465 stopped right now from Keystone Avenue down to Penn Pike. That is because of road construction. That is because of a stalled semi blocking the center lane, causing this awful delay and causing southbound 69 to back up to 96th Street and onto the ramp to southbound 465. Westbound 78 Hendricks County has a bad stop right now from the airport collector out to 267 because of construction. Northbound as 69 Waverly crash at 144 closing the interstate. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window. Now for a limited time, get up to 50% off all products, 2.99% financing, and a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to be. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And tonight is a night with WIBC presented by Relay Indiana. Now, our segment tonight, Nige, our stage bit, if you want to call it that, has got its own sponsor, AAA. AAA Hoosier Motor Club, proud partner of the Hammer and Nigel show, and they're sponsoring our segment at A Night with WIBC tonight. If you do not have a membership, the AAA.
Oh, it's great.
It's a game changer, man.
It's a lifesaver.
And when you hit the road and you're making a road trip, having that peace of mind, it's so awesome. So visit AAA.com or call or visit your local AAA dealer. Roadside assistance, tire changing, all types of different things. Whatever you're looking for in roadside assistance, AAA has your back.
They came out to my house and changed all 4 of my tires.
Yeah, their pit crew program.
Unbelievable. And then a few weeks before that, my battery had died. Something had happened to it. They were out, I thought it was going to have to be late into the office. They were out to my house in about 30 minutes, had it switched out about a half hour flat.
All the drivers in our house, my wife and my oldest son, we all have AAA memberships. Would you like to hear Joe Biden struggling to read a website, Nige?
Again?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
This is the student aid website that Joe Biden was trying to read off the prompter.
studentaid.gov/save.
Stop making him say websites.
Just stop.
Just don't even do it. Don't even bother.
So what was better, that or the vaccine website, vaccine.gum?
Visit vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gum.
Vaccines.gum.
Wait, you're asking me which is better?
Which do you like better?
Can I hear the student website again?
studentaid.gov/save.
Student aid for sure.
I'm still partial to vaccines.gum.
Okay.
Because he has no idea what he's talking about. And anytime Joe Biden has to read the prompter, there's always a chance that comedy gold could happen. Like when he reads the stuff he's not supposed to read.
Yeah.
That the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
End of quote. Repeat the line. And then there was that speech a couple weeks ago where I don't know who was running the prompter, but they had it going way too fast, and Joe was trying to keep up with it.
Okay. MAGA Republicans in Congress also trying to undo the progress we made to make getting, look, what I was able to do in what they call the G7 among the NATO countries and European countries.
Did you speed that up?
No, that was real. He sounded like the Micro Machines guy.
This is the Micro Machine Man presenting the most miniature motorcade of micro machines. Each one has dramatic details, terrific trim, precision paint jobs, plus incredible micro machine pocket play sets. There's a police station, fire station, restaurant, service station, and more.
MAGA Republicans in Congress falsely trying to undo the progress we made to make getting, look, what I was able to do in what they call the G7 among the NATO countries and European countries.
Okay, I would have loved to have seen his staff's face when they realized, oh crap, he's going off script. Abort! The old man's freestyling it up there.
You know what's beautiful about a night with WIBC tonight? I feel like there's no script whatsoever.
Correct.
I think you and I are going to go out there and have a blast, and I'm already itching for a beer. Is this the fourth one?
I think it is. I'm not sure. I drink a lot too, so I'm not sure. But we're going to tailgate tonight. We're going to have some beers. We're going to meet some fans. A night with WIBC tonight.
Hey, this is pretty cool. If you got a fall engagement coming up, maybe an anniversary, my 15-year anniversary is coming up here pretty soon, get to Diamonds Direct, because due to the overwhelming response, Diamonds Direct's most popular finance offer ever is being extended. And now through this Saturday, make any purchase, and you can spread your payments over 5 years, zero finance charges, zero interest for 5 whole years.
This special opportunity ends this Saturday. It's not going to be extended again. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything in the store. So guys, if you're looking for that home run gift for the holidays, or maybe you're thinking about popping the question and you're looking for the perfect ring, this is the deal where you save some cash and get the item of your dreams. The selection, the price, the staff, nobody does it better than Diamonds Direct. DiamondsDirect.com, or stop by that beautiful showroom at Keystone at the Crossing and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You probably know how much money you've saved in your IRA or 401k, correct?
Oh, I know to the penny. Casey and I work in radio, so it's not that much.
Okay, well, here's another question. Do you know how much you'll owe in taxes on this money in retirement?
Absolutely not, because I'm an idiot, Casey. That's why I seek the help of trained professionals.
Well, that's the most important number you really need to know, Rob. Otherwise, you're not going to know how much money you really do have.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could dramatically reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k. Just go to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. That's SaveTaxesWithBill.com. Just input a few numbers and you'll instantly see how much money you could save in taxes when you retire. It's from Bill Dimry, our good friend right here in Indy.
Don't give the government a nickel more in taxes than you have to. Learn how much money you could save in taxes when you retire by going to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. It's SaveTaxesWithBill.com.
Hoosiers should know that the Holcomb administration is preparing to strip access to therapy from thousands of children with autism. These proposed cuts would devastate families caring for children with autism, force therapy centers to close, and lead to therapy deserts right here in West Central Indiana. Even worse, Governor Holcomb's administration is making this decision based on out-of-date information, skewing the results. We must stop this callous attack on Hoosier children with autism. Otherwise, thousands of Indiana families will lose access to services. Nicole Parker from Darlington is a mom of a child with autism who would lose access to services.
These callous cuts are not what Hoosiers stand for. I urge legislators and the State Budget Committee to say no to the Holcomb administration's proposed cuts.
Leaders of the State Budget Committee must reject the Holcomb administration's rate proposal. Support a rate that keeps centers open and protects life-changing therapy for children with autism. Paid for by the Market Institute.
I'm a Window Nation customer. My neighbors are Window Nation customers, and my mom just got new Window Nation windows ordered for her kitchen. The numbers really do say it all. They've installed over 200,000 windows last year alone, 40 times more than the average window company, and 96% of them required no follow-up service. So when we're talking about deals, man, Window Nation has the best offer of the year. 2 windows free for every 2 you buy, plus no money down, no payments, no interest for 2 years.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, and there's no limit. If you want to buy 4, you get 4 for free. The more you buy, the more free ones you get. And that's on top of the existing deal of no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. You are going to save thousands of dollars, but you have to call right now. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hammer and Nigel here. When it comes to health, there are numbers every man needs to know, including your testosterone number. We recommend Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, and you'll know results in about 25 minutes.
Low T can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise cholesterol, cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass. LowTCenter.com. Book online right now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why you shouldn't be too comfortable with this warm weather. Ryan Hedrick reports on an arrest made by Indy FBI agents. And Colts running back Jonathan Taylor is back at practice today. Not sure, though, when he's going to step on a field for game day. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Division and defiance in the U.S. House. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. A day after 8 Republicans joined Democrats to oust the House Speaker.
The establishment is coming after me for taking a principled stand.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace says she won't be shamed over her vote against Kevin McCarthy.
We need to have a budget. We said we would have a budget. We need to have 12 separate up or down spending bills. We promised the American people that we would do that.
But Louisiana Republican Congressman Garrett Graves tells Fox News,
I think this race is far from settled. I think you're going to have a lot more discussion about the appropriate path forward.
He says the party is so divided it could take weeks to pick a new speaker. President Biden hopes not.
I know it's going to take some time, but I remind everyone, we have a lot of work to do, and the American people expect us to get it done.
Just 40 days left in the short-term funding bill that avoided a government shutdown. 2 announced candidates for Speaker so far, Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who says deep wounds in the Republican conference must be mended, and he's urging colleagues to remember a shared mission. California Congresswoman and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi among the mourners, paying respects to Senator Dianne Feinstein, lying in state in the rotunda of San Francisco City Hall, the same building where her long political career was forged by tragedy.
In 1978, Feinstein was serving as the first female president of the Board of Supervisors and was seriously thinking about retiring from public service when the assassination of Mayor George Moscone pushed her into the job, one she held for 10 years before being elected senator and then holding on to that job for more than 30 years. She was the longest serving female U.S. senator in history when she died last week at the age of 90.
Fox's Claudia Cowan in San Francisco, Vice President Kamala Harris among the many expected to attend her funeral tomorrow. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It's going to cool down. Cloudy with temps in the mid-80s downtown. No rain on your radar, and clouds should stick around tonight with low temps dropping to the mid-60s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. It's been warm today, but don't get too used to it.
As we get on to Thursday, highs will only be in the upper 60s on Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday, highs only, and Sunday only in the upper 50s on those days.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says we're 20 degrees above normal temperatures for this time of year. The boy police chase responsible for the Noblesville West Middle School shooting in 2018 has been released to his parents under certain conditions. The judge Wednesday said he can't have any weapons, can't show up on any school properties, and he'll have to be tracked by a GPS. Police believe he shot a teacher and classmate 5 years ago, and he's due back in court this December. And the FBI agents arrested one of the men who was on the run after dozens of raids were carried out in August. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Those raids targeted drug traffickers, dogfighters, and members of the 34th Street Disciples gang. Maurice Irvin is in jail. Cops are still looking for Gregory Henderson Jr. 21 people have been charged in the case, and 90 dogs were rescued during the raids. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson's not only impressing fans, but the rest of the Colts organization. Head coach Shane Steichen.
He's been great. Just watching the tape with him and just hearing his thoughts on what he sees has been great. And you can see, just the little things. He sees them too, you know what I mean? Before we even say it, it's like, that little thing was off by a little bit,
Steichen says there's still progress to be made to secure the win. Indianapolis plays the Tennessee Titans at home this Sunday. The Powerball jackpot for tonight's drawing is the third largest in the history of the game, but there have already been some winners in Indiana. John Hayrick reports.
The Hoosier Lottery says someone bought a $100,000 ticket at Thornton's in Terre Haute on Monday, and a $50,000 ticket was acquired at a Casey's in Franklin. Both tickets matched 4 out of 5 numbers and the Powerball, but the $100,000 ticket also had a power play multiplier. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and sometimes the scariest things aren't always in the crawl space or basement. Many times they're the dirt and stains in our carpets, but that's a whole lot easier to handle with Zero Res. Fall's the time of year when everybody tracks in so much crud and vacuuming can only do so much. When you combine that with an extended allergy season, it's time to call Zero Res. Here's the good news. You can get online in seconds for quick and easy scheduling focused on you. Their background checked and certified technicians take care of things usually in 2 to 3 hours, and your floors dry quickly because they use the patented ZR water that cleans with no soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals. Zero Res gets all the yuck out for a fresh fall cleaning. Now mention WIBC and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at $149. Plus you'll get a free hallway and $50 off air duct cleaning too. That's right, air duct cleaning, and it'll help improve the air quality in your home, help reduce your energy costs, and just help you breathe easier. Schedule your appointment online at ZeroResIndy.com.
With traffic in the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison stopped westbound 70 past the airport, just west of the airport. The delay starts at the collector, runs out to 267 because of road work in the right lane for another 6 days. Eastbound 70 stop through downtown from Holt Road to the south split. You make a north. Stop and go traffic up to the north split. Inbound 65, stop and go before MLK to Meridian Penn. Crash clear eastbound 70 before rural, that's gone. Southbound 465 Lawrence, stop traffic beginning at Keystone Avenue down to East 56 because of construction. This is also jammed up inbound 69 from 96 down to 465. We have a crash. It is northbound 65 north of 47. That's Boone County north of Lebanon. Right now, traffic is stopped back to US 52. Traffic sponsored by Mecum Auctions. Mecum Auction returns to the Indiana State Fairgrounds October 5th through the 7th with 1,000 muscle cars, classics, Corvettes, trucks, and more. Register to bid at Mecum.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we have a mostly cloudy end to our Wednesday coming up with a cloudy evening. Low temperature dropping to the mid-60s. Winds of the southwest at 5 to 10. And eventually a chance for some raindrops as we move into Thursday morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Norsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Boy, Congressman Matt Gaetz from Florida kept his promise, didn't he? He said, look, if House Speaker McCarthy even starts to screw around a little bit with the Democrats, he's out. And he followed through on that promise yesterday. Very upset that McCarthy worked with Democrats on that 45-day stopgap. I do find it a little disingenuous that Gaetz is mad at Kevin McCarthy for working with Democrats to pass that 45-day stopgap while he worked with Democrats to oust Kevin McCarthy. You get what I'm saying there?
I see what you're saying, but ultimately, for me, I think Matt Gaetz is more upset about the ridiculous amount of spending. And the straw that broke the camel's back was when Matt Gaetz started hearing some scuttlebutt that Kevin McCarthy, while he didn't put Ukraine money in the stopgap bill, he was working on another bill to fund Ukraine with the Democrats.
And look, if that was the case and Gaetz and the Freedom Caucus had him commit to stuff, because there was, before he's voted House Speaker, I mean, he went through 5 days of votes, 15 different times of, voting before they finally come to an agreement that certain members of the Republicans would vote for him, right?
It was
and
a marathon.
If he was breaking those deals, and if he's doing back alley agreements with Democrats, then Gaetz had a point.
So the question now becomes, who's next? And we've already got a couple names in the mix. It feels like this who's next process is going a little quicker than a lot of people anticipated. So Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan both have their names in the mix.
Can I just say something? Steve Scalise has cancer. He just announced he has a rare form of blood cancer that is treatable.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense to me that he would want this job in any capacity while getting chemotherapy for this. I mean, you have to be on the road fundraising as Speaker of the House hundreds of days out of the year.
And you can't just keep an eye on your Republicans. You've got to keep an eye on what the Democrats are doing too. Because as the Speaker, you kind of get the say of what's going on here. You're the person in charge of the House of Representatives. So I'm kind of in on Jim Jordan if this is the case. He's the founder of the House Freedom Caucus, the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. Is he perfect? No, but nobody is. And I feel like he's the guy that everybody could rally around and make this process as painless as humanly possible. That's the guy. He's kind of a flamethrower. He's going to be tough on accountability. He wants some of these investigations done.
Yeah, I wonder how successful he's been at the Judiciary Committee, his role as chair there. How much have they actually accomplished? Gaetz was critical of Jordan's role with the weaponization of the FBI. Said it was kind of it ended up being a weak, sort of theater-ish type of deal. But Gaetz has endorsed Jordan as he said he'd be fine with him being Speaker.
Thomas Massey has endorsed Jordan. Gaetz has endorsed Jordan. One person that will not be voicing their opinion on support of Jim Jordan is former Speaker Newt Gingrich. Newt is ticked off this whole thing happened in the first place.
A lot of people are.
Take a listen to the former House Speaker talking about what's happening now.
96% of the Republicans voted for McCarthy. 4% voted against him. From my position as a longtime Republican activist, they're traitors. All 8 of them should, in fact, be primaried. They should all be driven out of public life. What they did was to go to the other team to cause total chaos. We ought to be focusing on Biden. We ought to be focusing on the economy. We ought to be focusing on the border. Instead, you're going to get a week or 10 days of the media focusing on Republican disarray. It's an astonishingly destructive behavior by a handful of egocentric people who think they're superior to 96% of the conference.
Now, I like Newton. He's been on this show a couple times, but I don't know if I can go down the traitor rabbit hole.
People accuse the Gang of Eight of being unserious or performance artists, nihilists. Yeah, traitor is a bit of a hyperbole for me.
I think one of my favorite statements was from Ron DeSantis, who was asked about what's going on, and his whole angle was, let's be perfectly clear, I hated McCarthy before it was cool.
I opposed McCarthy when it wasn't cool years ago, and he's really somebody that Donald Trump has backed and put into that position. And so I think that they've not delivered results. I think the contrast between Florida, us delivering results, and what you have in Washington is typically failure theater. This is because of what they've done in Washington. So we need a whole different approach.
There's a little history there between McCarthy and DeSantis. They don't like each other. So DeSantis was like, let me be the guy that says, I liked the band before they were popular. I didn't like McCarthy before you guys kicked him out. It's Ron DeSantis.
But he did mention Trump in there, too.
He did. And last night, this was before Jim Jordan declared he wanted to be the new speaker. Jim Jordan was a guest on Sean Hannity's program. And take a listen to this. Knowing what we know now, you can kind of gauge Jim Jordan's reaction. But Sean Hannity presented Jordan the idea of Donald Trump wanting to be the speaker.
I've now heard from a number of people. I know for a fact Donald Trump has been contacted about possibly him being an interim speaker. Is that a reality?
I don't know. He'd be great, but I want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. If he wants to be speaker,
well,
great.
I'll be clear.
I want him to be president of the United States.
President. He's still going to be running for president.
That's where we need him, is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. If he wants to be speaker, then that's fine too.
You could hear Jim Jordan almost on the tip of his tongue. No. I want to be House Speaker. No. I want Trump's vice president. I'll do it this time.
I'm going to show you a photo that Donald Trump put out about an hour or so ago on Truth Social, Nige. Tell everybody what you see in this picture that I'm presenting to you right now.
He's sitting where the House Speaker would normally sit with the gavel in his hand and a Make America Great Again hat with the American flag behind him.
So for those not on Truth Social,
hilarious.
I will screenshot this.
Screenshot that and retweet that.
And put this on the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter.
The liberal heads that would spin. And the thing is, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We thought Donald Trump becoming president of the United States back in 2015, people laughed at the notion, Hammer.
You're right.
And we can't take anything off the table now at this point of who they're going to replace McCarthy with.
And Trump is not saying no. Keep that in mind. He's not saying no. He's not interested. He's doing quite the opposite. All right, Matt Bear standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
All right, Hammer, looking to westbound 70 by the airport. Now we have a stall. In the delay, we had a delay running from 267 back to the airport ramps, and now we have a stall in the middle of all that, so traffic is horrible. I am definitely on US 40, even though that's getting heavy in parts, especially before Ronald Reagan Parkway. Eastbound 70 jammed up at Holt Road to Meridian, Illinois. We had a crash in there that has cleared at least the lanes open. Eastbound 465 on the northeast side. Stop traffic Keystone Avenue down to East 56. Of course, that's a construction delay. The closer to Lawrence you get. Northbound 465 stop and go traffic 86 to 865 and northbound 65 north of Lebanon. Stop traffic from US 52 to State Road 47 because of a stall. Traffic sponsored by Allworth Financial, Uncompromised Wealth Management. Discover the power of uncompromised wealth management. Unlock your full financial potential. Call 833-GO-ALLWORTH to book your free consultation today. That's 833-GO-ALLWORTH. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, I've got that post from Truth Social up on the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter now. It's about an hour ago. Donald Trump on the verified Truth Social account, Photoshop photo of himself with the speaker's gavel at the speaker's table.
Oh, that's one of the greatest trolls of all time right there.
83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. Tony Kinnett here, and if you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem, using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. No more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. With demand so strong, they are expanding their hours at QC Kinetics to include Saturday appointments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics is in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel. 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN. QC Kinetics. 317-559-PAIN.
Joe Hogsett's been a politician for 34 years, and that's a lot of photo ops. But when riots broke out downtown, when police needed a mayor, there's no photo of Joe Hogsett. He was nowhere to be found. Since then, violent crimes off the chart. Police leaving the force. We're now 300 cops short. As a result, 2 out of 3 homicides now go unsolved. Indy is in crisis, and we need a mayor, not photo op Joe.
Not too long ago, Indy hosted a Super Bowl. We welcomed the world. We had a belief in our city back then that Indy could be magnetic, dynamic. Now, crime makes us feel unwelcome in our own neighborhoods. Joe Hogsett tried to do something about it. It's gotten steadily worse. Jefferson Shreve isn't running on a promise to try. He's running on a plan. Learn more about Shreve's plan at shreveformayor.com.
Paid for by Shreve for Mayor.
Do you have a crawl space? Do you know what's in your crawl space?
Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawlspace and Basement Repair, a real local Indiana family-owned crawlspace and basement repair contractor. Protect your family and your home from your unhealthy crawl space by calling Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts for a free crawl space consultation at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com. And don't forget to ask about our easy, no-interest, no-payment financing.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
24/7 ER care for kids. 24/7 peace of mind for you. Riley Children's Health emergency doctors and nurses are in the ER around the clock at IU Health North in Carmel. Learn more at rileychildrens.org/ER.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Okay! I'm Nigel. Hammer's right over there. Charmin spent 5 years working on a redesign of the toilet paper square so that it's easier to make a neat tear along the perforation line. But to do it, they had to make the line wavy, not straight, so it's no longer a square. Are you okay with this, Hammer?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. This is how long it took the masterminds at Charmin to come up with the perfect way to rip off TP. Now, Nigel, I don't know about you, but when it's go time in the bathroom, I don't care if the line is wavy. I don't care if the line is straight or perforated. It's getting ripped off, and it's going to see some stuff that it probably doesn't want to see.
Here's the thing. Charmin was getting complaints from customers saying it wasn't tearing in a straight line. Maybe it would tear off an extra square that it didn't want. Maybe it would tear in half. So there, not only, I see your point about somebody at Charmin working on this problem for 5 years, but there were people that were complaining, writing into Charmin, taking time out of their day to say, hey, we need to do something about this problem or else I'm going to switch toilet paper companies.
So I hear that, and I'm not okay with this because I want you to think about this. When the pandemic happened, they rushed out an experimental vaccine that we pumped into our veins like that. Boom. But when it comes to something you're going to wipe your butt with, it takes 5 years of the best scientific minds in this country coming together, doing experiments. No, I'm not okay with this. And mark my words, Nige, when I become the governor, when I become the president, yes, we're going to crack down on the amount of money and funding that Charmin gets if it takes 5 years to come up with this. And oh, by the way, we're going to change the ads too. No more bears running around playing with TP. If you want to have cartoon bears, they better be wiping their butt.
By the way, Charmin's not even the best of the toilet paper companies. Cottonelle all the way, baby.
Oh, man. Shots fired.
Cottonelle. No questions asked.
Cottonelle Joe, look at you.
My wife still refuses to buy it because it's cheaper at Costco. the whatever the brand is that they sell at Costco.
But I do have the impression that your lovely wife, Lindsay, has never been in a situation that you or I have been in where you're either drunk or in the woods and you're debating, do I just let it go? Do I use a sock or do I use a leaf? I'm willing to bet she's made better decisions in life than that.
I have friends that have had to make that decision. Yes, for sure. So they're joggers. They were jogging through Eagle Creek 2 separate times, 2 separate incidents. They left their boxers behind one time and their socks behind a second time.
I love you throwing your friends under the bus like you totally haven't thrown away a pair of underpants at the airport.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah, they were a pair of polka dot yellow Abercrombie boxers back in the early 2000s. Like a chick I was dating then bought them for me. Had to leave them behind.
I don't think we need any more information than that.
Okay, we can move on here. There's an article going around that argues we should all be washing our bananas before we eat them.
Is that a slang term? Are we talking about real bananas or?
Yeah, we're going to get wild tonight. I'm going to wash my banana. No, I guess they're saying the peel can have bacteria on it that can still get in your mouth. They're saying you should also wash avocados for the same reason. Are you okay with this?
Nope, not okay with this, because if you're the kind of person that puts the peel in your mouth and you feel like that's the way to eat a banana, I've got issues with that. But I'm not okay with this because this doesn't really apply to me. Maybe you, but not me, because one, I don't like avocados. I know that's a hot take, but I don't like avocados at all.
I don't either. No, you're right. I don't like.
I always wash the fruit before I eat it, even if it's something you peel. Right? If I'm going to have a fruit of some kind, you rinse it off.
Even the banana?
Even a banana, yeah.
Okay, no, I think that's what they were talking about. I don't think they were talking about people that eat the whole banana. Do you know people that eat the whole banana, peel and all?
I've seen people on social media do that.
So gross.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I mean, this is coming from the guy that was, washing his individual beer cans down with bleach during COVID. So I can't take too seriously anything that I do. But I did get halfway into that. Did you guys ever do that in COVID? Did you
ever? The first week. The first week when you didn't know what was real, what was not. Because, again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. What was beaten over our heads was that people were going to be dying in the streets left and right of this thing. And for the first week, that panic that happened, you've got that map of the COVID map on the screen, and
the death
you're
tracker,
washing beer cans, you're washing Pop-Tarts, you're washing everything. And then about a week later, I think it set in. Wait a minute here.
Something's up. This is dumb.
Something's up.
I didn't wait a week. For me, it was like halfway through my case of Miller Lite. I got about 12 in. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
If I get it, I get it at this point.
All right, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour movie.
No, not okay with it.
I'm not done yet. Anyway, she's got this. It's called Eras. It's just like a documentary, a tour, a movie, has hit pre-sale records at movie theaters so far. Are you okay with that? Like AMC said it made $20 million on the first day of pre-sales, August 31st. I mean, that's hitting records. Another theater chain saying it's 10 times higher in demand for any other film that the company's been released.
You know what? Begrudgingly, I'm okay with this because Taylor Swift is doing more for the economy than the Biden administration is right now.
Yeah.
We may have a little burnout of Taylor because the NFL is shoving the Kelsey relationship down our throats. You can't watch a Kansas City Chiefs game without half of the broadcast being dedicated to Taylor. But, I mean, her tour is a monster. It's, creating jobs. It's bringing money into cities.
Tens of millions of dollars with these multi-day stints in the cities.
And she pays her staff really well. We had that story recently where, the truck drivers for her concert and the roadies and all that kind of stuff, she pays them like tens of $1,000 bonuses on the road. So I get it. We're all burned out of hearing about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and all that kind of stuff. but I may disagree with her politically, but man, her tour is helping this economy, so I'm okay with it.
By the way, the movie comes out October 13th, projected to earn between $100 and $125 million on opening weekend.
I mean, you got to tip your hat, right?
Yeah, I'm sure my wife and my daughter will be first in line at that movie. Okay, 80s sex symbols, Lonnie Anderson, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Gray, Donna Mills, and Nicolette Sheraton will star in the Lifetime movie Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas. Are you okay with this?
Sure, why the hell not?
Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas.
You got to tip your hat to Lifetime, too, because they've reached that point to where they know people kind of make fun of them, and they thrive on it.
They embrace it, yeah.
They embrace it, like the Sharknado movies that come out. Like, they're super ridiculous, but...
Bidenomics. It's another good... Yeah, Biden has totally embraced Bidenomics, even though that was meant to be an insult.
Right, 100%. Yeah. It's a great example. So you get to tell me I get to look at some chicks from the 80s that were smoke shows back then. Some of them still got their fastball. Sure, why the hell not? But I will say this. I am a little upset at the lack of hot Heathers in this movie. Because if you're going to tell me you've got ladies of the 80s and no hot Heathers, I'm talking about Heather Locklear and Heather Thomas. The 80s had more hot Heathers per capita than any other decade. I'm a little upset there's no hot Heathers here, but I'm still okay with it.
Christy Brinkley? Should that be on the list?
Maybe.
Come on.
I think Christy Brinkley should be on there. I mean, there are some... notable omissions here, but I'm not going to complain at Lonnie Anderson up there doing her thing. A little WKRP action. I'm good with that. All right, coming up next, Tony Kinnett, the Tonus. We're going to get his thoughts on what's going on with the Speaker of the House. Also, the Noblesville shooter being let out of jail. We're going to get his perspective. That's coming up right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to start to feel like fall. Cloudy at 84 degrees downtown. Nothing on a radar. Low of 65 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. Temperatures are expected to drop starting tomorrow. The average high this time of the year is normally in the upper 60s.
So we're well above normal for today. But once we have this cold front go through, we're going to see temperatures more closely to our normals or slightly below normal.
Forecaster Jason Puma says along with cooler temperatures, you can expect rain, but not enough to get us out of a drought. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has failed to rein in the far-right members of his party.
You cannot allow the hard right to run the House or to run the country, or you'll get chased out by that very same hard MAGA right.
Schumer did give McCarthy credit for helping pass a short-term funding bill to keep the government running. Debt relief is on the way for thousands of student borrowers, says the White House.
President Biden has long believed that college should be a ticket to the middle class and not a burden that weighs on families. That's why from day one, his administration has taken unprecedented steps to fix the broken loan system.
Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, President Biden says he's looking at new ways to provide more loan forgiveness for students. A boy accused of a school shooting in Noblesville back in 2018 has been locked up ever since, but now a judge says he can go home to his parents. John Herrick reports there are some rules he has to follow.
Investigators say he shot two people at Noblesville West Middle School that day. Both the victims survived. He's also accused of committing battery on a case manager at a juvenile facility this past April. The courts recommended that he go to a residential care facility, but he was denied after applications were sent to 3 locations. Some of the conditions he must meet: his parents' home has to be searched, he can't have any contact with the victims, and when he uses electronics, he always has to be supervised. His next court date is in December. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Jonathan Taylor was back at practice today with the Colts, but the contract issues are still there.
And I have good conversations with them, and this stuff happens, right? This stuff happens in football. It happens all around the league. But to have him back and, ready to go and, practicing with the team, it's going to be good to see.
Head coach Shane Steichen says he's focused on getting Taylor and quarterback Anthony Richardson working together and learning from each other. The Colts have the Tennessee Titans Sunday at home. The traffic at 5:31. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, westbound 70 stopped twice out by the airport. A delay runs from the airport collector out to 267, State Road 267. We have a stall in there, and then road work at the end of it, blocking the right lane. That's going on for 6 more days. Coming into downtown, eastbound at 70 jammed up. Holt Road to the south split, making north. It's stopped up to the north split in parts, and then you turn east to go eastbound 70. We're stop and go traffic out to Emerson Avenue. It's a bad spot. Just like Lawrence eastbound 465 jams up before Keystone Avenue, down to East 56th Street because of the repaving zone. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window. Now for a limited time, get up to 50% off all products. 2.99% financing and a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to be. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we have a mostly cloudy end to our Wednesday coming up with a cloudy evening. Low temperature dropping to the mid-60s. Winds of the southwest at 5 to 10. And eventually a chance for some raindrops as you move into Thursday morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Investigative reporter for the Daily Signal. And sometime, I don't know, in the next 10 years, he's going to start a night show here at WIBC. Tony Kinnett joins us, the Tonus. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, but the show started 2 weeks ago. I guess you haven't been listening.
No, I haven't at all. I didn't know it was on the air.
It's not on the air yet.
Okay.
But I thought that'd be fun to screw with you. It's coming as soon as corporate figures out the contract.
All right, because it feels like we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm looking forward to the night show. But let's get into meat and potatoes here. Yesterday, an interesting day to say the least at the House of Representatives. Kevin McCarthy out, and now we sit and we wait. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, at this point, I think it's kind of a circus. The whole thing. Nothing is getting done anyway, so at least we're getting a show. There's rumors that there are a couple contenders. Of course, I've heard that some people think Donald Trump should be the next speaker. I think that would be hilarious.
Hell, the old man himself is not ruling it out. He spoke today, and he's not saying no.
No, and honestly, he's like, I'll do whatever best for the American people, which if you know Donald Trump is, I will drop everything right now to preside over the Biden impeachment trial.
And Jim Jordan has officially kind of thrown his name into the mix here. So, again, we've got names. Nigel and I were talking earlier, Tony. I feel like Jim Jordan is the guy that could probably get this thing relatively quickly.
I think so. And honestly, I think the only thing that prevented Jim Jordan from being a viable contender last time is that he told everyone, quit voting for me. I don't want to be speaker. So now he wants to be speaker. He's to the majority of the country, who I would say from the neocons in California and New York on that Republican side to the more Midwestern populist and traditional conservatives. They like Jim. I mean, he's a good choice for the speaker. And I think that he would be the best thing to come out of this train wreck.
Well, you mentioned the word circus yesterday. As soon as this all went down, it kind of felt like I used the word chaos yesterday. Then I woke up this morning and I had my cereal, put the kids to school, got dressed, came to work, had lunch, and I'm like, I'm still living. I'm still at work. Are we in a state of chaos right now?
Honestly, I think it's more telling that I'm more interested in knowing what kind of cereal you had for breakfast than what's going on at the Capitol.
Fruit Loops.
Oh, see, now that's a good choice, unlike most of Congress's bills. See, there you go, a little joke for the kids.
Are you okay with Kevin McCarthy being ousted?
I honestly didn't care. I know that sounds like probably the most blasé. If he would have stayed, okay. I thought he's doing a better job than a lot of people were giving him credit for. Representative Spartz didn't think, though, so she was so angry that he had kicked the can on the National Debt Commission to next year when no one's going to be paying attention anyway, that she threatened to resign from Congress. And that's a little weird for a number of reasons, but I actually got a chance to speak with her yesterday. We talked for a while about it. I mean, I guess this is really big happenings for the people on Capitol Hill, but Nigel, you're right. For you and me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, again, it's just such a mess at this point. Nothing's really getting done. No one's really being served. It's like watching a frat party devolve into chaos.
All right, so let's go back to Victoria Spartz here for just a moment because, again, you spoke with her. You've got the article up at the Daily Signal. She voted to move forward with kicking out McCarthy, but when it was time to vote to actually do it, she went the other direction.
That's the question that I have, honestly, and I am planning on kind of a follow-up, reaching out, kind of waiting to see who gets the speaker first because I want to see what she does regarding the speaker voting process. Many have asked, hey, if you're, end of term next year anyway, why threaten to resign if you're going to be out the door? She told me that, she's already wasting time being away from her family. She doesn't like basically that we're getting ready to go into 2024 and nothing is going to get done because all of the focus is going to be on, she said, fundraising and reelection, which is true. And I agree with her sentiment there, but I don't know. I would like to at least see her kind of raising a bit of hell and rabble rousing during that last year rather than just saying, you know what, screw it, it's not worth it and coming home.
Tony Kinnett joining us of the Daily Signal. So let's go back to, I think you called it a circus earlier, and a lot of people have that same feeling that it was chaotic. It was a circus yesterday. It's been chaos for 48 hours. But if, and again, this is a big if, but if Jim Jordan gets into the speaker's chair, and it happens relatively quickly, I feel like that's a big upgrade. I don't think that's chaotic at all.
No, but of course, when you have chaos, you can get the worst out of a situation, which is that somehow the Democrats end up getting someone in, which is not off the table with how crazy things are. But you can also get the best thing out, which is I would have preferred to see Jim Jordan over McCarthy in the first place.
Yeah.
That would be excellent. I mean, he would bring all of the issues to the forefront. He's been talking about it for months, from the national debt to the border situation to the Ukraine appropriations bills. Those are the kind of things he cares about. That's what the majority of the country cares about. And I don't think that he would be putting things off until the end of 2024 because that's what the California GOP says is wise.
Where are we stand on Matt Gaetz, representative out of Florida, that kind of pushed this whole thing through? I mean, one of the criticisms is that he was angry at McCarthy for getting Democrats to vote on this stopgap bill when he himself used Democrats to vacate the Speaker of the House.
Right. Honestly, I have a love-hate relationship with Matt Gaetz when it comes to looking at how he gets up and talks and his policies. He says a lot of great stuff. And then at other times, he just makes me cringe internally, and it's awkward and it's embarrassing. And he's partnering with MTG at times, or Groper Boebert out in Colorado. And I want to like him at times because what he says is true. We've been disobeying and basically violating U.S. budget law for most of our lives. That's very, very true. No one ever gets up in Congress and says that, other than whenever the great senator from Kentucky gets up and makes one of his libertarian speeches. So that's excellent. I'm thrilled to see him say that. But yeah, there is a little bit of cringy, just partisan politic slapping each other like toddlers on the playground that I think he's the origin of a lot of. And it's not helpful. It honestly often embarrasses the party. So I'm very torn.
Was the timing right here? Because that's been the big question that I've been thinking about over the last, 18, 20 plus hours here. This could have been done months ago, before Hunter Biden was going to court, before there were, impeachment questions and inquiries about the big guy, before a lot of these left-leaning polls came out that shows people are giving the Democratic Party two double birds right now. It feels like this may have taken a lot of momentum away from the Republicans with 2024. I don't know. Do you think the timing was right here?
Honestly, I think that at some point the Republican Party is going to have to refigure out what on earth it stands for, because Ukraine showcased this quite perfectly. There's a very big divide in how the elitists on the coast, Republicans, and also some in Indianapolis, believe that Republicanism should be. And then you have some populists and traditional conservatives and even libertarians who think entirely differently. Honestly, as far as the timing into 2024, I don't really think that the majority of the country was feeling this momentum into impeachment and this momentum into passing bills and this momentum. Everyone has basically been saying, yeah, sure, the GOP says they're going to do something, but I'll bet balls to bones that they're going to do nothing as usual. So I don't really feel the country's momentum being shaken here. This is honestly just more of the same. Until Republicans actually drag Biden before Congress, I don't think anybody's going to care or have any faith the GOP was going to do anything anyway. I think this was necessary.
And so there's some hardcore guys, like Rob Kendall was talking about this morning, and I have a neighbor that says the same thing. I'm glad McCarthy's gone because there's no difference between the Republicans and the Democrats right now. It doesn't matter if it's McCarthy in there or Hakeem Jeffries or Nancy Pelosi.
So I disagree with that one. And the reason I disagree with that one is because it's very easy for populists and for third-party libertarians like Rob to get up in front of the country and go, they're both the same. It's a uniparty. No, it's not the same. It's not. A Democrat with corporate interests is different than a Republican with corporate interests. They can both be bad. They can both be something that I don't prefer without saying they're the same thing. And the reason I push back is because then you get people saying, well, it would be better if it was a Democrat, so then people would know how bad things really were. Like some people are saying about the Indy's mayor race or the Indiana's gubernatorial race. And people seem to forget that when a Democrat is in power, the people they appoint are a lot worse than even the Republicans that we don't like are. And so I think you got to keep that in perspective.
Okay, so I will clap back here just a little bit because sometimes these people are the same. To me, honestly, Governor Holcomb might as well be a Democrat. We've been talking all week long about this awful judge that he appointed that is going soft on crime at an alarming rate here in Marion County. So every once in a while, I think you find Republicans and Democrats who may be the same person who make the same bad decisions. All right. Coming up next, I want to get your opinion on the Noblesville school shooter. Happened a number of years ago, getting ready to be released. Tony, can you stick around and share your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
All right, Tony Kinnett's with us from the Daily Signal. More when we come back on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Fall is the best time of the year. There's so much to love about the fall, especially the return of Window Nation's best offer of the year. Get 2 windows free for every 2 you buy. Put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest for 2 years. If your old windows are hard to open and close or drafty and leaky, take care of it now before the cold weather arrives. You'll be loving the new look and feel of your home, plus up to 30% off your energy bills.
You'll also love Window Nation's knowledgeable exterior designs and quick, clean, accurate, professional installation. Not to mention, you'll love the savings with this fantastic offer. Put no money down, no payments, no interest for 2 full years. And for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 windows for free. But this offer will disappear as fast as the leaves on your maple tree. Call Window Nation right now. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You probably know how much money you've saved in your IRA or 401k, correct?
Oh, I know to the penny. Casey and I work in radio, so it's not that much.
Okay, well, here's another question. Do you know how much you'll owe in taxes on this money in retirement?
Absolutely not, because I'm an idiot, Casey. That's why I seek the help of trained professionals.
Well, that's the most important number you really need to know, Rob. Otherwise, you're not going to know how much money you really do have.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could dramatically reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k. Just go to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. That's SaveTaxesWithBill.com. Just input a few numbers and you'll instantly see how much money you could save in taxes when you retire. It's from Bill Dimry, our good friend right here in Indy.
Don't give the government a nickel more in taxes than you have to. Learn how much money you could save in taxes when you retire by going to SaveTaxesWithBill.com. It's SaveTaxesWithBill.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
You'll love Bob Evans' new caramel apple hotcakes with roasted apples and all the sweet flavors of fall. Hurry on in for breakfast at Bob Evans.
Hey, I'm a homeowner. I'm also a multi-legged bug in the basement owner and a low battery chirping smoke detector that I can't seem to find owner. But thankfully, I'm also an American Standard furnace and air conditioner owner, so I don't have to worry about my heating and cooling. If you need American Standard service, Hammer will tell you who you need to check out.
Family Heating and Air Conditioning, the Morris family and staff, ready to help you out this spring and summer. You could call Rachel, you could call Marcus, or you could call Malia today to make sure that AC is ready for the hot summer, hopefully hot summer that lies ahead. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion, even if you've already got a quote from somebody else. If something doesn't look right, you could call Family. Nobody cares for you like Family. 317-577-8077. Family Heating and Air. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baer Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, we're looking at Lawrence right now. Southbound 465 stops to stop and go from Keystone Avenue down to East 56th Street because of construction. Inbound 65 to downtown just locked up at MLK, not moving to 21st Street, and then we drag into the North Split and slow on eastbound 72 rural. Westbound 70 still a zoo. Stop traffic before the airport collector onto State Road 267. A delay of 5.5 miles long because of road work. The right lane is blocked at the end of it. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Design it before you buy it with B Window. Now for a limited time, get up to 50% off all products, 2.99% financing, and a $550 installation credit. Trust your home to B. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we've got partly cloudy skies. It's 83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back on the Hammer and Nigel show, chatting with the Tony Kinnett of the Daily Signal. Tony, for those who don't know your background, we talk about it often, but maybe somebody's tuning in for the first time. You were a longtime educator in Indiana through the IPS schools. You started multiple websites talking about what's really happening with education, not only in Indiana, but around the country. And now you kind of do that as an investigative reporter with the Daily Signal. So I know education is close to your heart. I'm curious as to what you think about the Noblesville school shooter who is about to be released back to his parents, the old ankle monitor trick, when it sounds like there still may be some issues with this person.
So I have a very severe issue at any given time with the idea that just locking someone up and kind of giving them an extended timeout equals rehabilitation. We don't see that. Honestly, there have been other methods in rehabilitation, especially when it comes to minors over the last several centuries, that have been far more effective than saying, you're going to get a timeout and then we're going to give you an ankle monitor. The guy doesn't sound repentant. He got in a fight with others while he was on the inside of juvie. And again, he basically wanted to commit a very serious school shooting. And I really don't see any evidence that throwing him out there with an ankle monitor is going to do anything. We don't see that ankle monitors actively prevent crime. They don't actually make any marked difference, especially in premeditated acts, especially that are retaliatory. So, I mean, okay, this is the justice system in how it works. Honestly, I think that when it comes to dealing in situations of educational prowess like that, he either should have been locked up a long time or we should have started with corporal punishment in the first place.
Yeah, I just don't know what you do here because, you know, his time was up and they applied for several different residential holding facilities. They all denied him. And so you're saying you think he should just remain in jail?
Well, I mean, we have to take a look at how serious the crime is. Either, you know, school shootings are a very serious crime that we're going to take exceptionally seriously. Either that's a capital crime or it's not. Or it's not. I mean, he's already out. I mean, the Noblesville school lockdown happened while I was in the classroom at Knightstown. So that's like, what, 2017, 2018, around that time? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Carb Day here. I remember distinctively. Nigel and I were on the air that day.
Right. All of the area schools got locked down. Our school got locked down for a while as well because all of them did in the greater, like, central Indiana area. And it's just that's not that long ago, and he's already back out. So we're not going to take the crime seriously. But then when the crime happens, we're all going to get up on TV and pretend it's serious. Yeah, that's not going to do anything.
We got about 30 seconds left here, Tonas. Tonight, I believe, is your first A Night with WIBC, presented by Relay Indiana. You excited?
I'm thrilled, man. We've got some great stuff coming, and I get to wrestle all you guys together as the moderator for the panel.
Yeah, you're doing the big roundtable discussion. You're the moderator, man. We're looking forward to it. All right, we'll see you over at the Historical Society here in just a little bit.
Sounds good, guys. See you soon.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. How would you like to free up some serious cash? Or maybe you want to pay off some of that credit card debt that's been building up. Maybe you want to do some remodeling around the house. Whatever turns you on, my friends at Loan Pronto can help you out. It's Hammer here from the Hammer and Nigel Show. And check out loanpronto.com. It's an awesome new company, and it's a great way to get cash fast. As a matter of fact, with Loan Pronto, you could get $50,000 or $100,000 out right now. Dig yourself out of credit card debt, fix up the house, whatever you're looking to do, you can do it quick with very little paperwork and usually without an appraisal with Loan Pronto. Give them a call today. Don't wait. 317-953-6525. 953-6525. That's 953-6525. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month, cash pay, or covered by most health insurance.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, shipping your treatments directly to you. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. When it comes to your well, preventive maintenance is the key to safe and reliable water. C&J is offering their well cleaning special, and it's a deal that really helps improve the quality of the water you consume every day. To prevent problems, you simply must do a bacteria sampling, amps test on the pump, switch analysis, pressure tank check, piping exam, and a flow evaluation. Clean your well to protect the water you drink, bathe in, and wash your clothes. Call C&J to keep your water source safe, sanitary, and reliable. 317-852-WELL.
Hi, I'm Joe Wrights, former Colts offensive lineman.
And I'm Jill Wrights. Traumatic brain injury is so sad and so life-changing.
That's why we support a groundbreaking organization building a better future for adults living with a TBI.
Vilici was founded right here in Indiana, but what we are doing will affect families around the country. Families struggling to support and lift up their loved one after a life-changing head injury.
Go to braininjury.me. That's braininjury.me.
Fall in Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
I was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Hey, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
We're all different. 1 in 5 of us live with a mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Talk to someone you trust. Learn more at bringchangetomind.org.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Kate Sharon. A farm market will continue operating after INDOT reversed its decision to use eminent domain to seize and raise the building as part of its US 31 Streamline project. Wilson Farm Market was slated to be demolished sometime around December 2020.